Welcome back, everyone, to Stories to D4. As always, I'm your Dungeon Master, Matthew, and I'm really excited you decided to join us here in Eltz. Tonight's session is going to be a bit hectic as they delve into a dungeon. But before we get into our session, I'd like to go ahead and bring out all of our players, do a couple of quick announcements, and catch up. How are you all doing?
Good.
It's Friday.
It is Friday.
It is Friday.
Nervous. Yeah.
You're nervous? You know, so...
Killed wizards.
We've been killed by wizards.
We've been killed by wizards.
Technically speaking, Victoria made something, and Victoria, you don't have to explain, you made something aware of something tonight because of this dungeon that we'll be doing. The presence...
Oh, yeah. So I've been thinking about our campaign over time, and I realized we met a dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two of them,
Two of them, in fact, yes.
Yeah, you guys met a dragon.
And then we went into this underground hobgoblin old base, old bunker, right?
Back in Walnut Hill.
A little bit dungeony looking. So there's been 2 dragons in one dungeon. Well, today we're gonna reach the second dungeon to fully not just be dungeon and dragons, but dungeons and dragons.
We've done it. We've achieved plurality. That's one of the hardest words for me.
The universe can rest easy now.
Declaration was mine.
We made it.
You can all stop.
Statement.
It only took 23 sessions.
Well, now that we're officially going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons, let's talk a little bit about some channel announcements, catch up for a moment, and then we can jump right into that recap. So for those of you who've already joined our Discord, you've already seen this, but we have a Discord that's absolutely free to join. You don't have to be a subscriber here on Twitch. And we just finished up a vote over on our Discord for our new upcoming Adon emote. So we've reached out to the person we do for commissions for our cute little emojis like you see below in the chat. And so the winner for the Adon vote is going to be a hype emote. Some sort of, we're gonna have a fantastic way of having Adon cheering on our friends. Going to go well with our Laurentius.
Laurentius posed backwards, cheersing him.
Oh my gosh.
They have to be able to face each other.
That's hype.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Okay. With that in mind, I would like to mention, hey, we have a Discord. You should go ahead and join that by hitting the link in the description or in our channel description, depending on where you're viewing this. We also are very active over on social media, so if you want to keep track of all the changes we've made, or maybe see some of the sneak peeks we put over there on Twitter, I highly recommend you come join us there. Biggest news I think we have for changes for the channel is that we're going to be moving footnotes to be twice a month. It's going to be on the 1st and 3rd weekends rather than every weekend. And they're going to be I think they're going to end up being a little bit meatier as we talk about recent sessions, and also we've got a couple extra surprises coming that you'll be seeing starting this weekend. We will be having a footnotes this Sunday. Last couple of notes, and I promise I'll give the floor back. The Battlesphere is now up on YouTube, which, once again, thank you, Victoria. Absolutely killing it by doing those edits. Battlesphere, if you don't know, is a high-level one-shot we ran over on a planar construct filled with gladiatorial fights and some very, very powerful magical items. With that, I have one more announcement. Did you have something, Victoria?
I've got something. So we talked about that Adon emote.
Yeah. That'll
be made available on Twitch if you are a subscriber. And if you have Twitch Prime and you're not subscribed to somebody, it is totally free for you to subscribe to us.
It costs no money?
Literally no money if you have Twitch Prime and you're not already subscribed to somebody. And if you are subscribed to us with Twitch Prime, make sure you watch that expiration on it so you can keep using those emotes as they come out, because you do have to renew every month. But again, free for Prime.
So it's not automatic.
Yep. And
it's absolutely free. So we do, of course, encourage that. Thank you so much, Victoria.
And with those emotes, you can use any of them in the Discord server as well. Those are free to anybody to use.
Yes, and as soon as Adon is available here, you'll also be seeing it over on our Discord.
Hey.
What are y'all doing this week? You guys got any fun plans? Anything cool happened last week? Anything you're excited for coming up here in the near future?
I get to sleep a lot.
Oh my gosh, that sounds really good. Just a bit of rest.
We named our new familiar.
You named your new familiar?
Yeah.
Wait, did you get it?
Not the familiar, but the small creature that.
Oh,
yeah. Small creature that lives in our house.
Yes, we'll mention that. They're
disgusting mutt.
Fair. I thought we got another cat or something over here on this side of the room.
I was like, our friend group has so many pets.
So many pets here.
I think I have 4 at least.
But I'm pretty excited to see what we've got coming up here. So let's go ahead and get into the recap so we can start tonight's session.
I do think we have one other thing that needs to be recapped from last session.
Oh my gosh.
For shame for you, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You wanted to skip it.
I don't know. No.
Yeah.
We don't have to go to the crit corner. The crit corner, not necessary.
Crit corner is always necessary.
We'll go to
We should
crit
call it
corner.
Connor's crit
All right, I'm
corner.
gonna dip for a moment.
Perfect. All case. Wait, no. Let's not do that.
Jake, don't try.
All right.
You just,
So,
wait, there's still something in your throat. You need to clear it a little more. All right, cool.
yeah. All right. So last session for our natural 20s. We only had 2 people roll natural 20s last session, unfortunately.
Was it me?
You had 1.
Oh, I did.
But again, Victoria is champion because Meanie had 2
fair.
natural 20s.
Nice.
I do like to roll those. It feels very good.
3 people rolled natural 1s last session.
What a nice roof.
So you're pretty balanced. Jake, you had a natural 1.
I did.
Yeah, so you had natural 20, natural 1. I had 2 natural 1s, which is kind of bad, but Matt, how many natural 1s did you have?
You had one on me.
All I know is I stopped counting after 8.
Well, that's how many you had.
Oh no!
8.
But what I'm hearing is I still have the record.
You do still have the record.
You do.
for 10.
You do.
Yeah.
Atrocious.
Hopefully
Sounds like
today-
you need some dice left.
You can keep the trophy for a little while longer.
Yeah,
I'm
he
proud.
could beat you today. You know, he could really
Could,
take
yeah.
the throne of how many natural
so many
ones
more
he-
dice.
Oh yeah, like he throws those.
I think I'll have to focus on one particular die tonight.
Give that to Jazz.
You know what? While we're here, Chloe, you want to swap a die?
Oh, of course.
Here, have the gray die.
Have the gray die.
I really appreciate it.
Thank
Great
you.
friends. All right. Well,
That's the thing you can do.
I will absolutely.
You have to make a pact.
Yeah, no
with
one
a
asked for the orange die, so we're
powerful
too late
patron,
now. And with,
So
let's
I
go.
become a warlock.
Let's go ahead and jump into our recap so we can get started.
2 for 1.
It's actually locked. You have an orange die to treat him.
it doesn't work. It needs orange dice.
Alex. All right. When last we met, with our party having successfully completed their heist of the Branson Manor, our heroes got a bit of rest. Silas was able to take some time, heal up his shoulder, and the party, alongside their new little companion Ralnor, began their next adventure. Going ahead and contacting their dear friend Adon with the Defiant Smiles, the party also enlisted the help of the Vigilantes of Eltz. With this large, powerful force combined, the party began their mission to hunt down Zerathal, the vile necromancer. Zerathal, as a quick reminder, is a Goliath necromancer who has been plaguing the party since the very beginning of their adventure. And now, with the help of a magical statuette of a fox, the party has tracked him down, chasing the creature through the streets in order to locate the secret entrance to his base. Shattering through the exterior stony door in order to get into the tunnels hidden beneath the walls of Eltz themselves, the party managed to navigate a series of interwoven tunnels and access to the sewer, passing over body after body of fallen lizard folk. Eventually, the party came upon the apparent slayer of these lizard folk, a horrible fiend known as a Yottlegirt. Yottlegirt, this many-limbed creature, taunted and deceived the party, creating these strange fleshy puppets of the... Oh, that expression is still terrible. These facades of familiar faces, including the mother of Gwynwyn Granfear. As the party eventually, through a bit of wisdom and will, was able to overcome the illusions, they were able to fight back, pushing the Yottlegirt back further towards Zerathal's base. However, the threat was quite a bit greater than anything they had faced before, and so rather than attempt to slay the creature, the party sealed him using the ancient magics of the Callister House. Now, with a Yottlegirt bound in a magical orb of silver and the shared blood of both Ismini and Ililier, the darkness around you feels a little less vile and active as it did before. You stand within the sewers here, or the tunnels rather. Here you see that this silver orb still in Ismini's hand, a bit of rest having been had by most of the party, and a solitary staircase leading up to a large wooden door, the entrance to Zerathal's lair within one of the turrets of Eltz. Let's go ahead and start our session here. We've had a bit of time to breathe. The tension is high. We're in a particularly rough spot. How's everyone looking?
I would really like to stop being charmed.
I feel
Just
great.
saying.
We had a short rest.
That doesn't change the fact that Gwynwyn was charmed a little bit last session.
Every round,
Yeah.
I got charmed. I think there's actually an edit needs to be made to the crit record, by the way, because I got a 0 on my wisdom save.
I feel like
I forgot about that.
I got the
Oh,
first
it is there.
0. On
My
my
bad, I
wisdom
missed that
save.
one.
Yeah, no, she got the one,
one
not
was
me.
No, you did.
You also got a 1.
You
but
got a
I-
1.
I also got a 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, can we stop finding things that charm us? I'd really like to
I
not.
have bad news about the enemy we're going to face.
They are unhindered.
Oh.
He knows magic.
But if you've already been charmed, are you good for the day?
No,
No.
Against
Gwynwyn-
that effect.
Gwynwyn got charmed like 8 times in like
I
a turn.
It
It was
also-
bad.
It's going to be effect based, something that you,
Yeah.
the group would generally know. Sometimes that's true, where the effects have an end to them, and sometimes it is not.
Sorry,
Luckily for now, you have this still slightly warm orb in your hands, kind of maybe rubbing some of the burns from after you pulled the orb out of the forge.
Yeah. I got injured from that.
Little blistery.
You might need to wash out the wound on.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I'm washing out the wound. Do you
This
want
would make a good
some water.
If you pull out iodine,
Do I have a medicine kit?
Anyone
Ouch.
need healing? I do have healing.
Oh, I'm.
I think
took
we're
1
actually
point.
good. We
Yeah,
did
1
have
point.
that short rest.
can I get whoever says they're kind of keeping their head on a swivel somewhat? Can I get a perception check from someone?
I mean, I'm just sitting down resting.
Sure. Go ahead.
That was so
Oh my
aggressive.
goodness.
Wow, I am so sorry. But perception? That is a 10.
Okay, gazing around, just a quick. I want to give a little bit more information. With just a 10, though, kind of surface level survey of the area, you see that over to the west is the tunnel that you had entered from. So heading west would lead you back towards the sewers, the dead lizard folk you'd seen, the pit trap that Silas you fell into last time we were here. Looking more towards the east, though not perfectly aligned, you see a staircase that rises up about 5, maybe 6 or 7 feet up. It's a pretty decent incline that leads up to this large wooden door with some sort of maybe stone shape actually built into the front of the door. Some sort of like figurehead, perhaps, or it could be a knocker. The room you're in here is wider than most of the tunnels you've been in, being about 30 feet wide as it expanded outward, kind of creating an entryway here outside of Zerathal's lair.
So at the end of last session, we sent Squawk back to go say, "Hey, like the thing is gone now. We're going up. We're gonna go up." So I think that probably now would be the time to go. He already knows we're here,
Yeah, Squawks made it back.
You know,
and we should probably go.
I really do appreciate you letting me know. Make a real quick check, actually.
I don't like that.
From the west, the clodding of boots, panting breath as someone is approaching at a rapid pace.
From the direction we already came.
From the direction you already came from, you hear the jingling of metal. Someone is rushing here. Someone
hard?
armed.
Probably mine.
Oh god.
Have
Does he
heart
sound
vent out
maybe-
already.
A little less armed than most people.
Oh, Connor!
You're bad
No.
today.
We have God separate you and Jake.
Something about his energy.
Perfect.
I don't like that he's right, as maybe with some of you having drawn your weapons or wands, rushing around the corner, Adon Castillo. You can see, even over the red jacket he normally wears over his half plate, you can see the change in the crimson almost going, some of it starting to go just a tad bit brown towards the edges, as he had recently been carrying the wounded vigilante that unfortunately nearly fell to the Yottlegirt.
How's Bastille?
Yeah, as far as I could tell,
You could be having a eulogy going on right now, and Clella would be giggling.
I'm sorry.
Arcus is working with the Lionheart. He called him down using this weird whistle thing, and he's doing what he can, but Arcus said he was going to end up going out there and finding getting some of the guards to start being posted on top of the wall. And then he should be here.
They're getting guards?
The Lionheart said something about an escape route.
That's actually smart.
That sounds like
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Okay.
I
just
don't
like
think they're telling anyone where we are.
Well,
And with that, let me go ahead and hand here, Clill, if you want to go ahead and just put that down on the table for you. Our little Adon.
I love it.
He's so precious.
Sorry, I laugh every time we speak.
It's okay.
It's fine.
My buddy.
Buddy. But you are currently standing here. None of you have got to the staircase itself. You're sort of probably about 20, 30 feet out from there. Giving yourself clear distance. If that door opened, you'd absolutely see it. The Sunblade, I'm assuming still maximum radiant, or excuse me,
Minimum.
minimum radiance. My apologies. But what would you all like to do?
it's now or never.
The door. Well, he knows we're here.
Slap
Yeah.
Silas on the back and say, "Let's go, man. Upstairs."
I start leading our dear Laurentius forward.
I'm actually leading him because you can't see.
If we have to like run out and cops come in here, basically, let's make sure they go downstairs.
Just scatter.
Because we know that if there's any like prisoners, they're gonna be down there.
I like it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to leave for them? one of
They're
your signature
absolutely
notes?
guards, by the way.
I don't.
You have
Leave?
signature notes.
I leave it with unconscious people. And unless I'm not gonna take the time to knock out every guard.
Can
We'll
you
talk
consider them-
later
Right.
about why you do that.
As you all begin heading up the stairs, who is leading? Silas?
Can two people walk next to each other?
Sure, I'll allow. Yes, well, you have two people at the front. That's absolutely fine.
Light.
Me and Silas.
Right, your light is 15 feet at minimum,
He's
and then
got light
15
too.
more of din.
I will be
Dim?
behind
30,
them
30.
because Ego goes first.
Okay, so you guys are a beacon right now. Just know that for stealth, you are quite bright. But as you begin heading up the stairs, Silas and Laurentius, as you're marching up, Silas, you have your big hammer glowing in your hand. A venomous voice rings out. The rest of you would see the figurehead in the center of this door, this carved stone skull. A dim green light begins to emanate out of the sockets of it. Ah, well, I suppose I should welcome you at last. Lady Callister, it would be rude of me to not thank you for cooperating. Your assistance is most appreciated and has been noted.
Having a door between us doesn't seem too welcoming. Are you two gonna open up for us?
Oh, there's no lock. I do encourage you all to enter, though I only need 2 of you.
Any two?
There's a silence, a pause here for a brief moment.
This is
As Zerathal, speaking through this device, waits. There's this pause. You just barely hear through this through the wooden door in the structure itself. Oh, the dragon came and fought and fell against the heroes 9. Behind the door, just doing singing a little jingle under their breath, perhaps. Maybe just distracting themselves. And as the voice, some sort of male voice behind the door continues, Zerathal speaks up once more. An offer, then. Gwynwyn, you can take you and your friends. I need only the Callister and your mage's companion.
Fuck no.
There's no animation. Oh, yes! There's no movement in the skull. It's just like a slight flashing.
It means so much more
No,
when
wait,
you
hold
say
on.
it.
Gwynwyn, what's he offering?
You're
Our
alive.
friends?
Oh, whatever.
We don't trade friends or anything.
Well, no, I'm just
I think you might be misunderstanding why we're here. It's our lives that I don't think we're terribly worried about today. I would be more concerned with yourself.
Very well. I shall have very much fun reanimating you. It is a rare treat to be able to resurrect a Loxodon and add them to your forces.
It'd be really hard
It'll
to do
be-
that as a pile of ashes.
Can be born again, bud.
Honestly, I'm just looking forward to saying a prayer over our dear friend.
The light dims
You two love
and
burning
is
people.
silent.
I'm deeply worried about the people standing next
This
to me.
dynamic.
No, I'm not
today.
ready.
All right.
No, do not high five. Y'all are.
Full marching orders.
No, I don't need that.
Okay, great.
I just need to know who is in the front. You hear the jingle keeps continuing. There's a male voice just singing under his breath,
Do any of us
humming along.
recognize that song?
You can make a history check. I'm gonna go ahead and say Laurentius and Silas. You're closest to the door, and I had to kind of stage talk if I can't whisper here, and so it's relatively quiet. Not every piece of it's coming through.
See if I've heard it in the tavern before.
Sure.
8.
6.
6. You don't hear much, but what I will give you, because you're taking a moment just to listen just a little bit here, something about cursing their names and remembered for all time. You also hear the word dragon has been repeated more than once.
Some of the 9 heroes are.
What do you do?
It's a door.
It's a door.
Open it with a hand.
Can
Open it with me.
I mage hand it open? Push, pull? Does it say?
You try to,
I
you try to
can't
mage
read.
hand?
Can't read
This
it.
massive oaken door is more than 15 pounds and is unable to be opened.
Do 2 mage hands.
I don't
Okay.
understand.
Looking at the stonework of the archway, though, it looks it's differently colored than the somewhat rounded wall that appears to be the base of the tower, where the tower meets essentially the underside here.
I turn to Silas and I say, I'm right behind you.
All right.
I'm not gonna get right next to it. My reach is a weapon.
Sure.
My reach is a weapon. I'm just gonna start like poking the door and then starting to try and force it open
It's
from
a
far.
Yep.
Door.
I'm paranoid.
Yes. As you
An
push
evil
the door
wizard.
open, there's a few things you see. Before you, you see a bit of an odd scene. First, there are a pair of these sickly green-skinned humanoid figures, undead that you saw the last time you encountered Zerathal. These powerful forms of ghoul you encountered in the past. Additionally, sitting on a small but relatively nice-looking chair is this strong human male, probably in his 40s, wearing full plate armor, no helmet. You see a wooden handle of some sort of weapon on his back, and his hand is resting on the pommel of a longsword, which he has as he kind of leans it back and forth, resting on the floor. This human figure, kind of like a knightly sort of appearance, no major amount of filigree in terms of cloth, but the armor itself is incredibly finely made. It has a series of swirls and what looks to be repeated arc-like patterns that maybe are reinforcements to the armor itself. He stands there, long, I would say like dark blonde hair. Looks up to you. Welcome. Before we would begin, would you all like a drink? He gestures over to a keg that's next to him. The two ghouls next to him just kind of seem fully inert. The room itself, before you make any decisions, the room itself appears to have one large column. Yeah, the players are looking down at the battle map I said here. There's a large stone column that appears to be supporting the tower itself. There is a collection of shelving off to both sides, one made of wood, one that looks like it's made of perhaps stone. A smattering of barrels and crates. Looks like some storage is done in this room. But the actual... we can. I wasn't sure. Let me go ahead and give it a bit more of a visual then.
I don't like those.
I don't know.
Yeah, I fondly remember them.
Yeah, they.
Oh yeah.
If you guys would like to go ahead and...
Left me.
Ismini told me to.
You guys are all... The rest of you are like right here, just outside.
Whispering, but not really whispering. After seeing that armor, how much do you think it could sell for?
I don't know, like a couple silver.
Takes a wooden cup, uncorks the keg, and pours himself pours into the glass, slaps it close.
Kind sir, don't suppose there's any chance you would just, I don't know, let us pass?
Oh no, I'm afraid I owe the lord of this tower a favor, and well, I'm a man of some of my words.
Okay. He doesn't have a collar.
Nope. And he looks pretty pleasant. He's got you can see that on the other side he has a couple of, there's a small table next to him that has a couple more glasses on it. He takes another swig of the presumably ale that he just drank from.
How does one end up owing Zerathal of all people a favor?
When you're friends with someone for long enough, eventually you do things for each other. It's a bit of a game we have.
Are you another apprentice? Like, what was her name?
Oh no, I haven't the stomach for studying the arcane.
I think this is going to be lesson number 1 to the class about why we don't use towers. Lesson number 1. You gotta have people staffed there.
Looking around the room, there look to be doors on the on each of the 4 main walls here. The room itself relatively thin, but extends wide off. It looks like it's the 2 side doors would head around the tower that you're at the base of. But as you kind of step in here, there's not a lot to note. Though Silas, now that you've stepped in the stone shelf to the side, you see a collection of corpses on it. It looks like a crypt almost, just stored, not super gently. What would you all like to do? Till we're at initiative, you can keep us in like combat mode.
Yeah, I'm not interested in drinking his ale.
I'm good.
I don't
You
think
know,
Like
we
dead
have
dude
time.
ale. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, sorry, we're going up.
Oh,
we don't have
Well,
time for this.
I don't want to
I
get
was
bloated
hoping-
before a fight. You know
That's-
what I mean, right?
well, I was hoping we could act outside of how the bards expect of us, but
Do you want to play a game instead?
oh no.
Oh, you want to fight?
He gestures over his shoulder towards this a similar skull to what you saw before. This one quite a bit smaller with a pair of actual green gems that have been set inside. Oh no, I was instructed that we require you for insanguination and you for something to do with the study. The rest of you, unfortunately, if you enter, will be slain.
What's insanguination?
Well,
mean?
it's a shame.
Extraction of blood.
Get blood out.
Well, yeah.
I'm much more interesting than just my blood.
No, it is my understanding that your blood was used to handle that monster that Zerathal had out there.
Oh shit.
So,
Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna.
Would you like to roll for
I'm
initiative?
gonna roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
After finding out that I fell into his trap.
It's a shame. You seem a
He
decent
thanked
fellow.
you. That's
Hate to kill
very
you.
polite.
I was wondering what he was thinking for you exactly.
It was-
I'm gonna roll this one. I'm gonna see how it goes.
All right.
Nice.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll.
I almost didn't want to do that. It was very close, though.
That's
Go ahead and add me.
Okay. Are you
Oh
excited?
yes.
It's narratively interesting.
Oh, of course.
She's last.
The wizard has experienced rage.
The dice
in a
told the
bubble?
story. Like, I'm just gonna attack him.
All right, Laurentius.
I got 9. It's accurate for me.
Silas.
16.
Ooh, what's your dexterity modifier?
It's a 1.
Okay. Gwynwyn.
8.
Okay.
Nice.
Ismini.
Natural 20 for a 23.
Oh, that's so thematic. I love
I know, narratively
Yeah.
interesting.
it. Lilie.
19.
do you
Also
get
a
that?
bit thematic.
You need to just catch up with the rest of us.
Aggressive. I'm not here for good rolls. I'm
Talk to
here
me
for
about
good
being
rolls.
aggressive.
All right. With that, let's begin. You guys. All right, everyone. Go ahead and move your miniatures so that you're all essentially right here, just sitting just outside.
Ooh, one more person needs to roll for initiative.
Adon does. Since you are running him.
21.
Okay.
Can I? Is it alright if I'm
Had
just
to cut
inside?
me.
Yes.
Sorry.
Because you were one of the first. You said you and him were leading. That's absolutely fine. That's so fun.
I know I'm not on a space.
So this isn't a surprise. I'm not doing surprise here.
Right.
So he's as you drawing your weapons, readying yourself for battle. The man simply comes to his feet. He doesn't do anything extra. He's got his sword in one hand, some sort of weapon on his back. Make sure you're asking for these checks as we begin. Go ahead and give us some combat music, Alex, and let's start with Ismini. Ismini, what would you like to do?
Great. I'm gonna go into the room. It's a 15-foot cone for burning hands.
I love it.
I'm gonna stand right here and get both of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
not
I'm gonna
a
stand
problem.
right there and then hit both the ghoul and the man, whose name we don't even care about.
As you step into the room, hitting you head in, drawing your wand out, placing your hands together, and release a cone of flame. It's dex saves, I believe.
Yes.
The undead, 17.
Pass.
18 on the die. Ooh, not as good. 15.
That is a fail.
15 is a fail. This armored man fails.
12. 12 points of fire damage or 6 for oh my guys, save.
All right.
I know, everything catches on fire.
Nice chair.
The leathery throne that's next to him
Yeah.
becomes engulfed in flames and begins
Yeah.
to burn.
Everything not
The ground
nailed-
itself is stone.
Yeah, but everything not nailed down is on fire
I start
now.
cackling because his shit's burning.
What is that
Does it
smell,
smell
though?
bad?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a leather chair.
Well, it's been less than a turn. So
Sorry about my dice throwing, but
then let's go ahead and head over to Adon, conveniently going right after you.
I'm
Let's do this.
Yeah. All right. Adon's gonna go up to the ghoul on the far side that has been injured already.
Sure. Adon charges up to that one. He's gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
hit him with his hammer.
He's gonna hit him with his hammer. He has he's got 1 attack.
Yes. And are you using heavy swing?
Heavy swing.
Just think down.
Sure, we'll try it. We'll try it.
Sure.
Attack with disadvantage to hit harder. 9 plus 7. 16 to hit.
16 is absolutely a hit.
So an extra D8, so 3D8.
I want to hit for a 3-8.
5, 9 points of bludgeoning damage. Not great.
9 points of bludgeoning. That's
Yeah.
not bad at all.
2 1s on the dice.
Oh, you know what? I just realized
Yeah.
I said that's not bad. You used heavy swing.
I used
Yeah.
Extra die.
3D8 and I got 9 points.
Rough.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's Adon.
That is then going to be Alilie's turn. All of you guys rolling. So he rolled decently, but the 3 of you beat him.
I noticed something on his sheet.
What?
His languages.
Oh,
Oh, Dawn.
Can a Dawn be?
no. The answer is going to be no.
Can I
All right,
advance?
Ililie, you charge into the room, getting in melee with this this armored individual. Now that a player character has gotten closer, I'll just tell you he has what looks to be some sort of battle axe on his back.
Okay. As a bonus action, I'm going to ignite my weapon.
All right, what element would you like to use?
I'm gonna go with. I feel like this is a room that should have fire in it, so more fire.
All right, your blade becomes engulfed in flame.
not?
Go ahead and make your 2 swings. You can roll them together because you got some health left.
So the lower of them is going to be a 19.
That is a hit.
I'm also using Martyr's Lament,
Okay,
but I'm attacking the.
he is a human.
Yeah.
He is not undead.
I figured, but should always ask.
No, what's great is you're aware of when you use that ability if they're undead. But you have to stab them, so
You should just
I'm
go
just gonna
around
roll
town.
all my dice.
please do. I'd appreciate it.
Sometimes you need to probe things to
10 to
see
this.
like what they are.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Science.
20.
She has an end score.
30.
I just realized your blade is made of sunlight and fire.
Yeah.
It's really badass.
Yeah.
That, if you altogether, 30 points.
30 points of damage. It looks like he takes all of that damage.
19, 20. Yeah. Nice.
That's impressive.
Okay,
Not shabby.
let's go ahead and begin Sir Verak Karbel's turn. Let's see. Ooh, there's people so close.
There's a wizard.
I just get stabbed. So he's gonna go ahead and draw a weapon. You know what? Let's keep that. Let's keep the axe down. Actually, you watch as he takes a moment, reaches to his hip, and begins. He reaches into what looks to be a component pouch, pulling out what looks to be. It's hard to tell in a gauntlet of finger. Something that's small enough to twirl between his fingers, and begins casting a spell. We're good? I have to ask.
We're good. I'm saving that.
We're good.
So
All
much
right.
Not arcane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a single. First, I'm gonna make my first attack over at Ililie with my mithril longsword.
Fancy.
That is going to be a 17 to hit.
It's gonna hit, and I'm gonna use a reaction.
Yes. What would you like to use as your reaction?
It's going to make damage, so I'm just going to make a melee attack with advantage.
Fantastic.
I'm going to use the reply.
Yes, activating the reply.
I rolled 2 19s. Let me just roll that quick.
And what's great is my spell is concentration, so I am going to have to roll this.
It's going
Now-
to be 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. The concentration check will only matter if if this hits, or actually it'll matter no matter what. If you fail to save, rather. How many points of damage?
10.
10 points of damage. All right, so your 17 was a hit.
Yes.
All right, so swinging, two-handing the weapon, going to be 14 points of slashing damage, and I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
As he uses Wrathful Smite.
Oh, I was wondering what this was.
Take it.
This is not a charm effect.
Wisdom?
Wisdom saving throw.
It's an 11.
An 11 is a fail.
So 14.
And Lilie, you are frightened.
Dang.
And this is until the spell ends. However, because you hit me, I gotta make a concentration check. No, he's fine. All right.
Bummer.
As an action, you can attempt to attempt another check. Otherwise, he just has to lose concentration. Just let you know the basics of how the spell works here. That was his first attack. I'm gonna go ahead, take one. You know what? He's gonna take his second. He'll take his second swing at you as well. Natural 1 on the orange die. And then what he's going to do is, having used his 2 attacks, he's going to provoke from you by moving out of the way.
I don't have a reaction.
You don't have a reaction.
You're also frightened.
Right, well, he would have disadvantage is why I was worried about it. That's why he frightened first. But he goes ahead and backs up. You know what? Let's actually go here. Moving across. Yeah, absolutely. You got reach, it's fine. And that's going to be his turn. Silas, it is your turn. Laurentius, you're the next player.
Sweet. May I go ahead?
Yes, please.
2025.
Yeah, he couldn't really get away, but he could get away from some of the party.
I will take an AOO if you would like from him.
The ghoul would not, because you didn't walk into its range.
Okay, I can
Yep.
get around. Cool. I wasn't entirely sure, but.
All right, charging up across the battlefield, just making two swings at him. All right.
Ugh. Wow. Those were awful. I'm assuming that a 7 and a 10 do not hit.
Both of those miss. Now, he's actually not, you notice he's not very evasive at first. He's actually kind of testing you. He takes the hits. One of them kind of glances off the pauldron of his shoulder. The other one you kind of hit on the side and just moves him over a little bit. He's pretty tanky.
Unfortunate.
Okay. And is that it for your turn?
That's it.
We're going to go to the ghoul's turn. This first ghoul that's next to Adon is going to stay in Adon's range and move next to Silas. I'm sorry about that. Actually, we are going to provoke to Adon, which we'll have Victoria do when we get back.
Do you want me to roll it?
Sure, if you want to go ahead and roll that, because this thing has got a bit of health, is going to take a step forward. You watch as this knight is fighting, this paladin is fighting. You see that as he gets closer to you, Silas, the ghoul, its eyes begin to glow with just this like dull blue color. It's like someone splashed blue curacao on his face, actually, a little bit. But he begins to glow, and as you're fighting, something's up here. He's gonna go ahead and make its attack at you.
I don't like this.
18 to hit.
Hits. I miss my shield.
So this is a bite attack.
Yeah.
Yes, Chloe.
12 points.
12 points of damage.
It's above a 20.
Cool. 12 points of damage. Jake, you're going to take 9 points of piercing damage. I rolled very, very high on its damage. The other ghoul is going to move forward and get next to Laurentius. Someone can stand him up.
And
Gonna
he'll
move-
take a fall.
Yeah, he's going to charge up to Laurentius, and this one's going to make a claw attack
Trips on his shoelaces.
using Clella's die. That is a natural 1.
That's
All is that.
I want. Someone hit me.
Die also rolled poorly for me.
All right. That is both of the ghouls. It is then going to be Laurentius' turn. Laurentius, there's one of these ghouls already got right up on you. You can see, though, I will tell you this one does not have glowing eyes like the other one does.
All right, well,
It is
that's
uninjured.
what I wanted to do, but that's okay.
Okay, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna take out my scimitar, swing at him, booming blade.
Sweet. Charging out, your blade surrounded by thrumming energy.
20, or not natural, sorry, not 20.
Sure, absolutely hits. This one is uninjured so far.
Where's my d6?
Nice.
Adon swung and hit. You're fine.
20 plus 5. 25 points of damage.
25 points of damage. A massive blow, and the field begins shimmering around it.
Bonus action shove him.
Yes. Strength saving throw?
Strength save.
22.
Okay, he passes.
Yeah. You do get the impression these guys look pretty beefy. These guys don't have like huge gaping holes in them. They're kind of hulking. Some of them have they're like a little bit hunched over. They're beefier.
Where do you find a muscular corpse to reanimate?
You put muscles in it.
Stick around the gym, you know? Hang out.
I don't like
you would
your
be
answer.
muscular.
Oh,
All right.
like that answer.
That's going to be Gwynwyn. It's your turn. The next player will be Ismene.
Can you move me into range of firebolt with our dear paladin friend?
Sure. Put you here without, and you're not in melee with anyone.
Perfect.
All right. I will let you know, unless you want to get into.
I ignore partial cover.
You ignore perfect, because I was gonna say unfortunately he's gonna have cover where you are.
It's me. It's always me.
Right. The natural one.
It is.
Fantastic.
I
Is
don't-
that gonna be it for your turn, Gwynwyn?
That's gonna be it for my
All right.
And I need a new die.
It's like the
No,
third or
I'm just
fourth we've had it
Making the check.
so far.
That is fantastic. Rolling a d4. 3. Gwynwyn, as you begin as you walk into the room, it's beginning to stand up over on the side. A trio of skeletons.
Oh, cute.
I'm in danger.
No, you're fine.
However, they don't get to do action this turn. That was their turn.
Just use burning.
Going to the top of the round. Round 2 is Meanie. That's your turn. Elle, you're on deck.
Can I tell that he's like divine caster kind of guy?
Paladins exist and you're aware of them.
Great, cool. I'm gonna cast Chill Touch on him.
Okay. I will also let you know from a meta standpoint, because you didn't ask anything in particular, there are also warlocks that have access to the spell that I cast.
Right, but I'm trying to avoid him healing.
Sure.
He could be a bard.
Natural 20?
Natural 20 does hit.
What's a
Nice.
warlock?
Nothing I've seen played.
19 points of necrotic damage, and he cannot heal.
That's very bad, because I have 3 healing spells prepared.
Don't you also have to
Chill
do
touch.
something? I think
I have to make a concentration check. It was 19 points of damage, which still means a DC 10 concentration check. 11 on the die. He's got a positive score there. He's good, but I do appreciate that. Anything else in your turn, Ismene?
That'll be me.
Great. Going down, it's going to be Adon's turn, then it's going to be Elle.
Dawn is going to walk up to the other side of where Silas is with that ghoul.
Sure.
Oh, actually, no. Laurentius is in more trouble.
I can get Laurentius.
Okay, cool. Then Dawn will go over there.
Great.
He's going to do his heavy swing, but he's got advantage.
Flat
so
roll.
Flat rolling on the heavy swing. He misses. That's a 11.
11 barely misses.
Good enough.
Is that a 1 on the die?
It was a 4.
Okay. Adon comes over, strikes against this creature. It falls over, and then you can see one of the bones kind of like fully is out of location now, but it didn't hit anything that was functional for this undead creature. That will then be Lillia's turn. Elle, there's so many undead here.
And I am so frightened, but I've been frightened before.
Yes.
And so I'm going to leave where my target is. I'm going to go here.
Are you in line of sight of him is my question.
Does the chair count?
Yes.
There's several
There's
people.
3 bodies in the way.
There's 3 bodies in the way.
The chair's on fire.
Yeah.
The chair is on
It
fire.
is on fire.
Look, are we pandering for a non-line
Here.
of sight?
Because we have a dispute, I think this is a very fun one. Here's what I'll ask for you to do. You're gonna roll me a d20, and on a 15 or greater, you can't see him in that position.
I'm going to roll the arrow die. 16!
Great. Because of the flames, he's not considered in your line of sight, which means, well, you still have the condition. It doesn't have any negative effects because you're not in line of sight of your target, the source of your fear.
I'm going to just swing.
Great. On one of the skeletons?
Yeah, the one in between Thorn and I.
Perfect.
That's going to hit. I'm just going to roll both of them.
Okay. Wait, what are the...
The
There's no
ghoul-
skeleton,
the
but
ghoul
the
rain
ghoul.
The ghoul.
Okay,
Sorry.
perfect.
The green goblin, if you
Both of them are above a 20.
Okay, great.
So
This one has been hurt quite a bit more.
I get to roll this many d8s plus 10 to this.
Did you roll an extra d8 because this is an undead creature?
That's why there's 68.
Oh, okay. That's gross. That's almost a cone of cold.
Do you need more of those?
No. Well, it was wizard.
Yeah. 10, 20, 26, 36.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, this is radiant damage, so I don't
Do you
get...
need the radiant damage?
No, because I don't need to make a save anymore because that thing is incinerated. You watch as you strike it, bursting out from like its ears, its eyes, this radiant light. It doesn't explode, but just blinding light, and then dust. It ashes.
Told you I got you.
Can you do that again?
I'm going to look at the skeleton in its empty eye sockets.
You turn to the
Very
skeleton.
and lean forward.
The skeleton appears unintimidated.
You see a bead
wow.
of sweat.
That is going to be Sir Verak's turn. Well, that was a really good turn. And so what he's going to do is he's going to, as an action, he's going to say, all right, you bastard. Pull this strange little object out of his pocket and throw it onto the battlefield. I'm going to roll real quick to see who I'm throwing this at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going across the room, in the direct. Oh, I can't get to Alilia directly, so it'll be to Laurentius since you're the closest. He throws this small figurine through the air.
Catch it.
Can I smack it out of the air with?
It's a cool horse.
We should pick
As
that up.
it emerges, a beautiful, wondrous, white fur, yellow-maned unicorn emerges.
No.
Yeah.
It's a land
I
narwhal.
want it.
As this creature arrives, ready for battle, that was an action for him to use it.
Fucking unicorn.
I'm gonna go ahead and have it use. I'm gonna have it use one hooves attack on Laurentius.
If it
Bring it.
behooves him to.
Yeah, it behooves him.
I will go pet it.
Laurentius, that's a 19 to hit.
Oh, shield.
Shield, very good plan. It acts on his turn, so all of you are aware.
Good.
We'll then continue on. That's gonna be Silas's turn. Laurentius, you're next.
Nice.
As player.
We're gonna split our attacks this time. One, and the first one is on the ghoul with advantage.
Okay.
I am upset by that, but you know what? A 14, I'm assuming hits.
Hits. Yes. Not a lot of armor on these guys. They're wearing pants. They're basically Hulks.
Oh god.
Yeah. That is going to be a 12 on the damage there.
12 points of damage. That thing is looking very hurt, but it's not. It's a little harder to tell on these undead.
And then last strike is going to be on our buddy boy there.
All right, making a swing at this paladin. Go for it.
19 on the die.
19 on the die will hit.
Perfect. Okay, that is 13 damage.
13 points of damage. He is bloodied.
Can you make a check?
I am going to make it. Yeah, it's DC 10. Ooh. Ooh.
Finally.
He has. This is very fun. He has a +4 to con, a 3 proficiency for a total of +7. He rolled a 2 on the die for a 9 on his concentration
Nice.
save. That is, you absolutely got it there. So with that, he loses concentration on Wrathful Smite, and we will then continue. Assuming,
Question.
yes,
Does Silas still have magic weapon? Because I had cast that last time.
That's an hour-long spell.
yeah,
we took a
you,
short rest.
you took a short rest. But good question. We'll then continue on. Unless Silas, you staying there?
Actually, if you don't mind, I'm going to move one square over, kind of right next to him.
Perfect.
And I actually, using a superiority die, am going to make a grappling attack on him, using grappling strike.
Sure.
So can you make a strength?
I'll make my athletics check.
Oh,
Natural 20 for a 27.
you know, I got a natural 1 for a... You know what? I want to do the math. I got 17 for a natural 1.
As you reach down and
have
try to
spirit
grab him,
attack.
he actually, using your trunk like you've previously done, right? He takes that and actually takes his sword and actually cleaves. There's a portion of your trunk that is bleeding as he slices a bit through your leathery hide.
I've explained my nightmares about
Stop!
Silas's
No,
trunk.
he just hurts you.
I know,
You
I
were
heard.
wounded. And as this is all happening, we are then going to continue on. It is the solitary ghoul's turn.
I'm not frightened anymore. But
You're not frightened because Silas broke the concentration. Good
Thank
play. The ghoul is still here next to this paladin. Let's go ahead. Okay, a 21 to hit you, Silas.
It definitely hits.
As it strikes down against you, again, this bluish energy emanating out of its eyes, this dull blue light as it attempts to claw you. I'm sorry, bite you. I misspoke there. Oh.
I know why, but I don't like that a bite is a pierce attack.
18 points of piercing damage.
That.
As this creature bites into you, you feel for a brief moment, it almost feels like some sort of energy is pulsing within you, and then it fades. That is the ghoul's turn. Laurentius, it's you. When are you next?
I'm gonna
These ghouls seem pretty strong.
I'm just wondering what that energy
gonna
is.
move up a little bit.
Might have to make
Yep.
a check.
Might as well get in range. You're good at dex saves, right?
I love
Yes.
these types of questions.
Or burst.
Oh, cool. So I'll make 3 total. 1 for the unicorn, 2 for skeletons.
Yeah, you need to make one. Sorry.
Both
fine.
of the skeletons fail. The unicorn rolls a natural 1.
Ooh, write that down.
I need to know what's the spell save?
Oh, 16.
I failed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, 16.
I failed.
Okay, that's 8 points of force damage.
8 points of force damage.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was force. Very nice.
The unluckiest unicorn got a nat 1.
Okay. From that, Lorenz, is there anything else on your turn?
Bonus action, I'm gonna cast Hex on. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'm good.
I'm gonna go ahead and use a legendary action. The unicorn is gonna use its hooves attack, just to crack back at you, Laurentius. Rearing up, it slams down with its hooves. That's going to be a 20 to hit.
That hits.
14 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing strikes down on you. Okay, that was his legendary action. We're gonna go to Gwynwyn.
I assume y'all have the paladin. I'm gonna deal with the unicorn, so I'm gonna fire a firebolt at it.
Rude.
I don't like that it attacked my friend.
You are currently in melee with it.
Can I
You want-
step
you wanna
back out of the door?
You can, yeah. It is going to provoke. Is that okay with you?
That's fine with me.
All right, I'm going to make a horn attack as my AOO.
Okay.
As it stabs you with this celestial horn that is super cocked and on 19 too. Okay, that is going to be a 16 to hit.
Matches.
Okay. And that is going to be very poor roll. 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
As you back out of its range, now you no longer have disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm just launching that firebolt at it.
Lob your bolt of fire.
So close. A 28.
Super hits. And all of this damage goes through. I saw a question.
Yeah.
16 points of fire damage.
60 points of fire damage, that's very good. As you strike against this, it does not appear this is as hardy of a creature as the anti-paladin has.
Break it.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. That'll then be the skeleton's turn.
What was his name again?
His name is Sir Karbel.
Verak Karbel.
Yeah. And I'm sure you spelled both of those very weirdly.
I know how to spell Verak.
double
I played
R.
Dragon
Sir
Age.
Barbell.
It's double R.
Verak.
Wow, there's a lot of
I have a
letters.
different Verak from my. It's well, spelling. Who even cares, right?
Yeah.
I'm changing his name to my canon.
All right. It is the skeleton's turn. These guys much weaker than before, or rather than those ghouls are. But we are going to go ahead and begin our battle. Heading over. It's going to be 2 attacks at Laurent. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's going to be 2 attacks at Laurentius, 1 attack over at Ililie. Elle, we're going to do you first.
Take it.
Elle, that is going to be not great. 17 to hit.
Alright, my turn.
I get to use a reaction.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to deflect a strike.
Very
So,
cool.
I'm gonna do this is the first time we've used it. So
Yes.
D10 plus my dex plus mage's level. So that
Yes.
for me is plus 10 to this D10. And that's a 10 because there's not zeros on D10s.
Excellent.
So that's 20. Reducing the damage by 20.
Well, I did 3 points of damage.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend an arcane point and redirect the attack to a creature within its range.
So I'm going to stab the next skeleton.
I'm gonna have it stab itself.
Oh, as you seeing this weapon coming, you push the spear down and then thrust it back, stabbing into the ribcage of the skeleton. Chloe, I shouldn't have rolled that. You should have rolled that. I'll tell you this: you would like to roll your thing. You're attacking with it is a spear. It's 1d6 weapon. But go ahead and roll this for me. Oh, you make the attack roll. It's okay. It's the first time we've used this. It's a mage's ability.
It's a 2.
I rolled a 1 on the die. I count because this was an accidental roll. This is a wrong roll. But as it tries to hurt itself, unfortunately, it's, you strike up against it, but it doesn't seem like you're able to get anything vital. You've practiced more against things that have organs. The other 2 attacks going at Laurentius from the other ones. 1 super misses, 1 of them hits.
This is over a 15?
Yes, it's over a 20 for 6 points of damage.
Okay.
It's a 21, by the way. It's as low as it could have been with the words I use. We're then going to continue on to the next round. Is Meanie.
I'm going to, thank you, Amanda, send Squawk over to harass the paladin, and I'm going to chill touch again.
Nice.
For the help action for me to chill touch with advantage.
Yeah, okay.
That's a natural 20.
Is that your second?
Another
Yeah.
crit shield touch. You reach across
Initiative.
with this necrotic energy. Go ahead and roll that damage for me.
Look, it's real, I promise.
She keeps
I feel-
rolling them.
This is two
Showing-
sessions in a row.
Yeah.
Okay, that is 10.
19. Another 19 points of damage. He cannot heal. Necrotic.
Very rude.
Suck it, nerd.
Yeah, that's my turn.
He's still hitting me really hard. Actually, no, it's that.
You're not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing that. Sorry,
Okay.
man. You can't.
That's Adon's turn. What is
Adon-
Adon gonna do?
Adon has. Adon's gonna move. Can you move Adon so he's got a
Moving him
again?
over,
Yeah.
taking a swing at the ghoul.
Heavy swing again on the ghoul. That is a 16 to hit,
16 to hit. Hits.
and that'll be another 3d8. So that's 14, 18 plus 4. 22 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wow, this thing. We'll check.
Oh,
Death's door. This thing is incredibly hurt.
I didn't really see his reach. Okay, that'll be Adon's turn.
Is what?
Reach.
He shouldn't.
Oh.
And it's a copy paste error then.
Oh, reach 5 feet. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't. My eyes didn't go to the next line.
Sorry, it's an NPC stat block. You don't look at
Yeah.
it as often.
Right.
That is, at initiative 20, emanating from the skull here on this table, those green gems. We're gonna go ahead. You hear this hissing sound, and suddenly a crack as one of the gems in its eyes breaks. I'm gonna go ahead and a spell effect is going to emanate from the skull. It's like maybe I won't give you too much information. Silas. It's a 19 on the die. Very much hitting you.
Ah.
This bolt of blackish energy fires out from one of the eye sockets of the skull. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. This is versus poison.
Con save.
Yes.
17.
17 is a pass.
You don't seem like you were happy.
You take no damage from this ray of sickness that is fired from you.
You've eaten enough of Woody's
It's not safe for half.
He's out here. He's out here casting spells through skull.
Yeah.
I hate this man so much.
Aren't you jealous?
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
My labyrinth will have skulls.
This place is so
Labyrinth.
themed.
Not a tower?
I'm showing. This is an adventure in why towers are bad.
All right, we're then going to move on. After Zerathal's initiative, we'll go to Lilier.
I'm gonna do my first attack at the skeleton that just swung at me.
Okay.
So. No, it's not. Unfortunately, sorry. That is going to be a 13.
13 exactly hits their armor class. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Nice.
Actually,
Lucky number 13.
20 points of damage.
Same thing as you saw before, only instead of exploding with light, this one, as you strike it, it shatters, clackling. It almost there's a brief moment of marimba, and then it fully turns back to ash.
Amazing.
The undead is permanently destroyed.
Then I'm gonna swing around and get here.
Swing around. You get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. That's
All right.
advantage.
It's not really a swing.
Go ahead and roll your 3d20 against me. Elven accuracy. Folks, if you have elf in your blood, consider elven accuracy.
Never gonna roll with disadvantage again. Or without advantage if I can help it. 20. It's gonna hit.
Yes, go ahead and roll your damage. This is a skeleton. They have 13 hit points.
Plus 5 to this. 12.
Not enough.
I know. It's infuriating. Some of that's radiant.
Some of that is radiant. Unfortunately, does not appear that it's vulnerable to radiant damage. Your weapon is enhanced versus the undead.
It's fine. It's fine.
But that skeleton is incredibly hurt, nearly dead. We'll then continue on. It's gonna be the paladin's turn again. Got one more of those.
See a paladin here. Only an anti-paladin.
You know what? We're gonna provoke from Silas. Go up to Adon. Silas, would you like to take your AOO?
Yes, it's rude. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does not hit. So So as he begins casting another spell, am I okay?
You're fine.
Okay.
I'm saving that.
All
Actually,
right.
he
We have
never
a
left
wizard
my
to go deal
AOR
with.
range.
Why?
Reach.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Not worried about it. It was a mistake. We wouldn't. It's fine. All right. Casting Staggering Smite.
Would this be a stunned effect?
That face that you have mixed.
No, this is actually not.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Paralyzed effect?
It is neither of those things.
Okay.
So his thick-headedness does not have to do with that.
I had to know.
So first hit is going to be 16.
No.
Second swing with the longsword, 22.
Yes.
Go ahead and drawing out the axe and making his bonus action attack with this one using Klella's die, 26.
Yeah, those will hit.
All right.
It's a good time to cast shield if he's got it.
Doesn't look like that's a thing he can do.
I need Adon to make me a
Just
wisdom
farts.
saving throw.
Oh no.
It can't be worse than
It's-
one.
Come on, you've had all of these natural 20s. This is it.
Don't jinx her.
It's a natural
like
21.
13.
13 is a fail, and he takes 37 points of damage, split up between slashing and psychic from the staggering smite.
Yeah, that all goes through.
Additionally, Adon has disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks and cannot take reactions until the end of his
Adon
next
is
turn.
bloodied.
Yeah. I rolled really, really well on those dice.
Yeah.
That was rude.
Yeah.
Welcome to the dungeon. With
Yeah, the
that is going to be Silas's turn. Silas, Adon is hurt. Ugh. Little help.
Okay, I'm gonna move Silas or myself into advantage. Oh, I've been playing too many tactical RPGs.
You're okay.
I'm gonna swing at him.
All right, make your 2 swings with advantage.
I'm assuming a 25 might hit.
AC 19.
Ah, it was 19 on the die.
Swing again.
The first one is a 11 damage.
Okay.
Second hit going right back at him for a 22.
22 hits.
9 damage. And then I'm going to use another superiority dice to try and grapple him.
Okay.
Is that a concentration spell?
I think so. Make 2.
Pass on the first. Pass on the second.
Oh, well.
Rude.
Had to ask.
No, you're right.
That is 17 plus. Can he beat a... What can we do now? 25.
20.
Is it less than 25?
No. 1 second. I have to know how I have to double check how ties work.
I think the
Because what is 18 plus 7? That's 25.
25.
I think whoever's attempting to be grappled is the winner.
No. You know what? I remember we do have a more general policy like for this. I like the idea in this situation. You watch Silas strike this man incredibly hurt, and you wrap your trunk around him and grapple him. He's grappled.
It's a hug. It's just a hug.
He's not in a great spot. Quite hurt, in fact.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it there, but is it okay even if I I really don't want to provoke. Can I yank him back this way away from Adon? Even if it's just moving him out of Adon's reach.
You want to go like here?
Yeah. If I provoke, it's fine. I'd rather.
It would provoke from the ghoul.
Yeah.
Aren't you still in range?
Go ahead and pet that skull.
you're
Yes,
out of range.
My
it's
range,
range.
but his
I miss. I miss you.
And he didn't voluntarily move, so Dawn doesn't do it.
Correct.
We can't take
Yeah.
reactions anyway.
Additionally, Silas, at the end of your turn,
Yes.
I messed up and did not have the unicorn take its turn. It's the unicorn's turn. Unicorn, gonna go ahead. Can I do? Oh man, I can. I'm gonna do a bunch of provoking real quick. Unicorn's gonna back away from Laurentius.
Swing with my
Did the
sword.
unicorn leave my range?
It's about to.
Okay.
Nice.
It's a 20. Was it
That'll hit.
26?
Go ahead and roll your damage. It's meanie. You watch as the unicorn runs past you, then turns around and charges. And is going to attempt to charge on Laurentius.
10
Great.
points of damage.
Provoking. 10 points of damage.
Could I make a wisdom saving throw?
Okay.
Are you
Okay. Using Klella's die.
It's the
That's an
highest-
11.
Oh.
Nah, told dead.
That might be the highest roll that die's ever seen.
That
Roll
would be
12.
15 points of necrotic damage on the unicorn.
Hell yeah.
Never seen one roll 12.
Okay. The unicorn charges forward. This is going to be. It's gonna go ahead and make a. It's gonna make a horn attack against you.
Gross.
It's only gonna be a 13 to hit.
I dodge out of the way.
That would have been, in case you were curious, 2d6 plus 2d8.
That's not bad.
It is then going to make its hooves attack on you.
I've already made it behoove spawn.
Yes.
24.
Yeah, that hits. Let's
It's
see.
gonna be 7 points of damage.
I'm fine.
Kind of like, forget about it. It's fine.
I want you to hit me with 7 points of damage.
I gave you an anti-paladin.
Yeah.
Let's go to the ghoul's turn. Ghoul's gonna go ahead and swing on a Don. We're gonna go ahead and move past the ghouls over to Laurentius.
What'd you roll?
It's a 2.
My turn?
Don't be over here policing my dice. You don't need to worry about what I'm rolling.
I'm going to just let you know, for brevity's sake, I'm going to do the. Why can't I never remember the name of my thing?
I'll just buy.
No.
Booming blade thing. Sound burst. Sword burst.
We're all guessing.
No,
Pop, lock, and drop it.
No.
You're gonna
Pop
pour us
it,
a beer.
Quicken
twist
spell.
it.
Jesus. Quicken spell. I can never remember it.
Oh my god.
And I'm gonna cast.
Oh, went
That was
off.
it.
I'm gonna cast Booming Blade.
I was the closest, let's be honest.
So.
What are you Eldritch Blasting? Because it would be
No,
disadvantage.
I'm Booming Blade.
You're Booming Blade. Perfect. Booming Blade and the Unicorn?
So 2 swings, yeah. So 18
Perfect.
and
Not 2 swings.
well over 27. Yeah. Because quicken
Spell.
Quicken spell.
Oh, you're casting Booming Blade twice.
Yes.
I thought you were quickening
that's
something
cool.
else.
No.
Super cool. What was it? What were the hits?
So
12 is the AC.
27 and an 18.
Super hit. You stab the horse.
Cool.
Laurentius, horse killer.
Hell yeah.
He's the one that adopted the pretty black horse.
He is someone who adopted the
We haven't seen that horse in so long.
It's in a
in the
stable
cart.
somewhere. Why isn't it at the warehouse?
It is at the warehouse.
Okay.
There, we mentioned a while ago. There's a small stable that's out there.
Yeah,
It's for wood.
with the cart. You're so mean.
Keep forcing.
40 points of damage.
40 points of damage as you bring this, you brandish your weapon, taking a page out of Olivier's book, surrounding it in a shimmering field of sonic energy. You strike down, and as you do, rather than bleeding out brilliant celestial blood, it cracks, and the unicorn disappears. A small figurine, tink, 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 landing on the floor.
I'm very
it's
satisfied
gone.
with myself. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm still like.
And also, I will let you know, that was very effective. All of that damage was all of that work. Just in case you ever see these sort of creatures in the future.
In case we kill more
In
unicorns.
case you kill more unicorns.
Needed a unicorn.
We know what
These are celestials. They're not
Full on
beasts.
golf swing.
Win-win, it is your turn.
I'm gonna hit the anti-paladin.
All right, taking a shot at this man. He's looking real hurt, and he's grappled by Gwynwyn, or by Silas.
Math 20.
Math 20 is going to be a hit.
For 21 points of fire damage.
21 points of fire damage.
And then I'm gonna pull out the flute and play Healing Word for Adon, because I see that he's not doing well.
Okay, this guy is on death's door. Healing wording Adon.
For 12 points of healing.
12 points of healing on Adon. He's feeling much better. Ugh. This man, I feel like he's a little less jokey in the battle than he was before. All right, let's see if we get past there. I'm going to, at the end of your turn, I'm going to go ahead and use a legendary action. I'm going to use combat roll, moving up to 5. Oh, I can't. I have my movement to 0.
You could try and break it.
No, I'll just use weapon attack.
Oh.
I'm going to stab you.
Why would you stab someone who's
18 to hit.
That actually hits.
Is with your mithril longsword. Minimum damage. It's going to be 8 points of damage.
I'm fine.
And that'll then be the skeleton's turn.
I'm not bloodied.
The skeletons, there's only 2 skeletons left. One of them turns around and swings at Alilier. One of them swings at Laurentius. Just keeping that damage nice and even. Laurentius, missing Laurentius, 16.
That hits.
16 will hit you, okay.
I'll use my reaction to reduce the damage.
It's 5 points of damage. So you automatically
I
get
automatically do it.
Do you want to spend an arcane point to swing back at me?
No.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
But you reduce the damage to 0, and then we'll go back to the top of the round. There's a couple threats left. Is Meanie.
Should I keep making it so the paladin can't heal?
Yes.
Great. Squawk's gonna do his business, and I'm gonna do mine. Let's do chill touch.
What? You think I had just a pool of healing available to me?
Yes, that is cocked, isn't it? Is it cocked? Is it cocked?
Can you put a D6 on top of it without the die falling over?
That's a great way to do it.
That's how.
I was
Yeah.
gonna shake.
It's a
that.
natural 20.
That's a natural 20.
Incredible. I believe, legally speaking, I have to give Alex a bicycle.
Nice.
Thank
Wait,
you,
come
Alex.
on.
Good
Why
job.
not me?
Alex deserves all the bicycles. No,
19 points of damage.
Wait, is it been
Right, yeah.
19
Consistent.
each time too?
Yeah.
Very consistent.
She's precise
Oh,
and
it's
accurate.
18. I can't count.
18 points of damage. Well, in that case, no. It's meaning for the
Okay,
third
go.
time, you feel you're in this rhythm. As you're reaching out, the last time you taking the spell, rather than pointing your wand and conjuring this, you reach your hand out, and an after image of it flies across the room, striking him, clutching the armor, the fingers passing through, clutching something important to him as he dies.
Oh, he just dies?
No, he's reduced to 0.
Suck it, nerd.
You watch as a wave of energy releases as the spell that was active on him completes, dispelling his death ward. He's at 1 hit point on the ground.
Ah. I feel like I should
Smacks him.
keep using these dice.
Oh,
That's my turn.
I really wish we could have had that drink.
Look,
You should have
you
let it
didn't
pass.
have to fight us. Now you've just wasted all of our
That's gonna be Adon's turn.
Adon already has a disadvantage on his attacks because
Yes.
he was hit by that thing. So
But he's
thought it was
advantage
until-
if he's attacking a prone enemy, it's advantage, so it'd be a flat roll.
Oh.
Wait, tell me, was it until his next turn or the paladin's next turn? Both
Until
of
the
those
end of the
pass.
paladin's next turn.
Until the end of its next turn,
Okay,
Adon's
yes,
next turn.
there we
But Adon
go.
hasn't gone
right,
since.
Adon isn't gone.
Right.
My point was more, well, he already has disadvantage and there is still a ghoul up.
What do you want to do?
I feel weird with the. I don't think Adon would attack a dude who's just
Who's
laying
he
there.
attacking?
So he's gonna attack the ghoul. He's already
Okay.
got disadvantage anyway, so I'm gonna heavy swing.
Sweet.
That is 16 plus
Super
7.
hits.
Yeah. That'll be
Low one?
3d8.
Yeah.
Adon rolls crazy, apparently.
Well, apparently Victoria just never misses.
14
Yeah,
plus
Victoria's
4,
here.
18 points of damage.
And with that, you watch as the undead creature falls to the ground.
20 points of damage.
4, 4, 8.
Did you roll?
Is it 4?
I
Plus
did.
4, 4, 4.
As the creature falls over to the
Oh, I
side,
cannot add.
That's fun.
She's
I
actually
missed
been
a
doing
die.
like
you watch as
30 damage.
the creature falls over and begins standing back up.
Cool.
It made a saving throw. I will tell you that.
Cool. Cool. I'm gonna need your help to count for me because I missed an entire die.
These are both
there.
of these creatures are 1 hit point. That will be Elilier's turn. El, there's undead here.
I'm gonna keep focusing on this undead, but someone smash the skull. And then I'm gonna swing.
Okay, make your swings.
Natural 20.
It's
You
dead.
heard her smash his skull.
You strike through this thing, it explodes in
Tell me what
It's
radiant
the
light.
dice box.
And then I'm going to move in and swing the again
Another 20 for the
at the other one.
Let's get rid of this piece.
That's going to be 19, which is definitely going to hit.
Go ahead and roll the damage, because the first one you hit had 1 hit point.
19.
And the last of the skeletons die.
Sweet.
All right, El, anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna move. I'm just gonna move over, like, yonder. Just to,
Prevent any shenanigans.
I just want to see the shenanigans. Also, I like the burning chair.
You know, I had a plan here.
Did Al just ruin it?
No, I'm still grappled.
Sword.
Yeah.
I'm still grappled.
And you can't
And you're
heal.
prone. Are you prone and
And you can't heal.
You're holding me. I put me prone because I forgot I was grappled here.
Stomp on his neck. Stomp on his neck.
You
No.
can't
He's
non-lethally
not-
curb stomp. I've learned this.
I'm not saying to non-lethally.
So here's the thing. He wants to move, and the only options for moving are to hit Silas or use an action to escape the grapple.
You will not bring me down.
Oh.
That was a challenge.
I will begin casting a spell.
I can't counterspell him. Don't look at me.
I'm waiting for somebody to say help, but nobody has said it yet.
All right. Gonna go ahead and make my 2 attacks with my mithril longsword. 13 and a 21.
21 definitely hits.
Need you make me a Constitution saving throw against Blinding Smite.
Con save?
Yep.
19.
19 is a pass. You're going to take 16 points of damage. Can make his bonus action. Oh, it doesn't have a bonus action swing because he used to cast a spell. You're still up.
I told you so. Now, don't you think you've wasted even more of our time?
Well, you've won this round.
That's obvious.
I'll be seeing you in the next fight.
You're
That's the end of his turn. Silas, it's your turn.
He just said he might be seeing us in the next fight. Oh God. You know what? While you're here, and you know, you should owe us something after we showed you such great chivalry and heroics. What's up with the skull? Pretty please.
Make a persuasion check.
18?
Huh? An 18? Sure. Those things are how the man of the house can see all of you. And if he needs to deal with you, he could.
Things. Plural.
You saw one outside.
Yeah, he talked to us through it.
That's fair. Okay. Well, I mean, that's all I had.
You gonna bonk him?
It didn't have to end this way, but it must. I'm gonna swing at him.
Lethal or non-lethal?
Non-lethal.
Okay.
We don't need him coming back and fighting us again.
I'm just gonna, just in case, not swing both at him. Does an 18 hit?
18 does not hit.
Swinging both at him. Does a 22 hit?
22 does hit, even while you're blinded. Holding this man, you know where he is. You just take the hammer. Not blinded, excuse me. You crack him with your hammer there. My apologies.
It sounds so graphic.
He's 1 hit point. Fully unconscious, dropping him to the ground. Anything else in your turn, Silas?
Grab him by the shirt and just like.
Can I make a quick check?
Sure.
The skull.
Goes right next to you.
Yeah, I just want to look at it.
It has 1 emerald gem here. What do you want to know about it?
That emerald gem, does it look familiar?
It's an emerald.
Fair enough. That's literally all I know. I guess I'm not going to make a check.
You can make an Arcana check for me if you'd like.
I mean, I am making a check.
Also, as you're here kind of looking around trying to get more information, the ghoul, the blue energy, fades.
It was him.
It was him.
16?
16? You've no idea.
Cool. Cool.
Not really. It doesn't, like, maybe. Maybe it's the same thing, maybe something different.
His armor doesn't disappear, nor does his body?
No, he's got super cool armor on.
We're going to have to take it.
It looks very, very well made.
I want his sword.
So if this room looks in actuality the way it does in miniature form,
Yes.
There's a trunk in the room. I say we open the trunk, take what's in the trunk out of the trunk, take what he's wearing off of him, and then put him in the trunk.
I think we should burn
You could also
the
give him
bodies on the crypt thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Can we just firebolt
Several
them?
of them, yeah. So
Thrown us
the
off.
battle is still on, guys. There's still an enemy.
Yeah.
There's a
Sounds
goblin.
buddy. It's a goblin.
It does pretty hurt.
It's the ghoul's turn.
Oh, I thought the blue energy from the ghoul disappeared.
Right.
He
It's
still
just
has
a
1
normal
HP.
ghoul now.
He's
It was the anti-paladin's aura of hatred.
Oh, cute.
Cool. I want
Cool.
one of those.
Go ahead and go towards his meanie.
Oh,
Isn't it provoking?
Adon gets to make a
he
swing.
can have a reaction again.
He
Okay,
can.
cool.
This is a good one because this thing has 1 hit point.
That is like 20 something to hit. 20.
This creature comes charging towards his meanie,
I
baring
got
its
part with
teeth, ready to bite down, chomp on some wizard brains,
Ew.
and the ghoul is dead. With that,
10. I got there.
the battle the sounds of battle end. We're out of initiative here.
Is the throne still on fire? Because we could just start
Absolutely.
tossing
Does it smell
the
bad?
bodies.
Yeah, you're burning leather.
It's leather. I thought it was gonna be like human leather or something.
I'm scanning the room for paper. Any paper anywhere.
Give me. You're just looking for paper. Give me an investigation check.
Do I have to make a check to
bodies?
take off his
Burn
armor?
bodies.
We're burning the bodies.
You work over there pulling. Someone because there's one of them. One of the skeletons hadn't yet animated. You have to kind of like wrestle with it just a little bit here. If one of you want to make me a real quick an athletics check.
I'll make the athletics check.
So
I
anybody-
assume you want me to.
Yeah.
Does anybody want
19.
the sword? 'Cause
19?
I want his sword. I'm gonna
You
steal
can
it.
have a sword.
As he tries,
What-
as you get up there, it tries to the
I
skeleton.
think no.
The skeleton,
Stick it in my belt.
the skeleton wrestles you as you're kind of getting in there, and you're able to toss it in the flames.
I'm like, Bahamut's blessings. Go away.
You throw the skeleton into the flames. You take some of the tatters from the actual from this little crypt wall here and begin burning them. The undead are still. There are several more doors in this room. We don't need the battle map anymore, Alex. There's several more doors here within the dungeon, but at least for now, everything seems fine. Go ahead and take. When you guys have a chance, take all the miniatures off all the players off the battle map.
So, I was gonna go
Looking
ahead.
for paper investigation.
11.
11? No.
Okay.
I was taking his armor off to put in a certain bag of holding. While I'm doing that, can I do a quick investigation check, see if there's anything relevant on his person?
Sure. You begin taking a look. He has on him 6 potions of healing.
Ooh, for me.
Yep.
What's so funny, huh?
He came prepared like a gym like leader.
He has a spell scroll. And he has an odd stone. You notice in one of the, as you remove this very fancy plate armor, this does take, so I want to say doffing plate is 10 minutes of time. It's quite a bit of time to remove armor, unless you're hacking him to pieces, which
No.
I assume not, since you did it unlethally. You begin removing this ornamental armor. It's very well made, all silver here, but you can see as you're looking at it closer, it looks like someone has removed paint or some other coating on the outside of it. Like it might have been much more over the top ornamental. Ornamentation might have been painted before.
Do you?
But so there's a strange rock, a scroll, and 6 potions of healing.
Do you have?
He does not carry coin with him.
Do you happen to have a blanket in your bag?
Rock look familiar?
The stone itself, as you turn it over in your hand, looks to be a dark gray with a small streak of a pinkish line, maybe some sort of granite within it. It appears to be a rock, but it was placed gingerly within one of his pockets underneath his armor.
We should probably leave him the rock. It seems sentimental.
Seems some magic shit.
We probably couldn't sell it. You have a good point. Let's at least
hope-
pick up his unicorn.
Could I magically take the rock?
I would like to keep his unicorn.
Okay, there is a unicorn figurine on the ground if someone wanted to pick it up.
You're grabbing the figurine.
What do you mean by magically poke around? Tell me what you're
I
tell me
don't
what you're
know.
doing.
Does this look like some sort of like spell focus or something? Like,
You can make an arcana check to see if you know of
Right,
anything
hang on.
that would be like
I'm
that.
gonna see if I
I
have.
suppose a religion check would be more appropriate since you know he was some sort of paladin.
Could you
Okay.
check the scroll out while you're at it too?
Oh, anything special with his sword? The one that I stole from him?
I mean, so looking over, he has a pair of mithril weapons, a mithril battle axe and a mithril longsword.
I want the sword.
They're pretty well made. Each of them have recently changed grips, so it's well maintained. Mithril, this sort of, it's like steel, a little bit more pale material to it, and it's incredibly light. Both of these weapons have the light property.
Cool.
I'm gonna be taking the axe.
When you say like they have recently changed grips, just like it's been re-gripped.
Yeah,
like he takes
Okay.
care of his work.
he recently did this. You wouldn't be surprised if he did this today.
It's like a tennis racket.
Yeah.
It's exactly like a tennis racket.
Or like,
in a
I was
sense.
thinking like golf clubs. You get a re-grip.
Nope, he doesn't look that bougie.
He also changed
The comparison was tennis. That was. What do you mean? It's crazy.
I got you. I got you.
Time. What? Rand rewraps his sword.
Yeah.
Because
I haven't read that.
Nice.
Yes, Amanda, you had a question.
Can I go look at the skull? Can I investigate the skull and the emerald that's still left in it?
Sure.
And
What are you trying to? Okay, I gotta go one at a time. What are you trying to do?
I saw that the one gem cast a spell. Can I try to figure out what the other gem would do if there's like a spell stained in it?
Sure. Give me. It's gonna be like without using spells like identify and such. It's a little bit harder, but go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
24.
24. You begin kind of looking this over, and you're thinking about it a little bit. Well, the spell emanated from this, but it was a ray spell. It was targeted. And as you're here, and because of that high roll, I'm going to be giving you advantage on this. You realize someone must have to be able to see through this to cast this spell. I'm going to go ahead. 16?
Exactly hits.
Maybe a Constitution saving throw with advantage from this. As the second gem shatters, you just hear just very quietly this whispers in an unfamiliar tongue as he's casting a spell.
21.
21 is a pass. You are not sickened. It appears that this, and as the gem shatters with that high roll and what you've seen here, it appears that spells can be cast through this. You're not sure if there's what limitations there may be, but it does damage the skull to do so.
Okay.
It appears with the second gem shattered, its abilities have been dispelled.
Just to confirm, those healing potions are base healing potions.
Those are base healing potions, but quite a few of them.
Yeah.
6.
2d4.
2d4 plus 2. I'm giving one to him, and I'm taking. What do you need? A Dawn.
Don doesn't have anything on his sheet. I'm gonna give him a 1. 2d4 2.
Give him 2. I'll take 3. 1, 2, 3. 2d4.
2d4 plus 2. What's up?
What would you all like to do? You're standing here within the entryway.
Can I take one of the potions?
You have an unconscious anti-paladin?
I'm
Yeah.
hurt.
Mark, Don gets one less.
One
L,
less.
L gets one. Perfect.
I'm going to take it. I have to remember.
Great.
You are gonna have it in your inventory, not to heal.
I'm going to take it.
Oh.
So there are a few entryways. Just kind of standing here. Do we hear anything behind them, or is there a staircase that's obviously going upward?
You can make a perception check as you want to, here's what we'll do. If you want to go ahead and investigate one of them, I'll go ahead and say I had this side of the table here. Why don't you each make a perception check as you just take a quick peek at the doors.
Door closest to me.
Sure.
Perception.
Sure.
I have a 22.
22. To the easternmost door, which is this direction, I have the map here. The easternmost door, you don't hear anything. Gwynwyn, the north door.
6.
6. As you kind of listen through it, you do hear the sound of water. Could be the sewers, could be something that's going on there. You know you're pretty underground. Southern door,
10.
a 10. Can't really make much out. Again, a little bit of a rushing sound,
It's a
but
door.
not much you can make. What would you all like to do?
Are we just gonna continue on? Are we gonna rest?
Paladin is currently unconscious on the ground.
Nice.
What are we
Hello.
doing?
Oh, again, the trunk. Could we just like pop him in the trunk, make sure he can breathe, but just like pop him in there?
Yeah, whatever.
Someone opening the trunk?
Might
I'll
as
open the
well.
trunk, yeah.
Cool. Go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw,
Oh,
Silas.
come on. I'm sorry about that, man.
I thought. No. Why are things strapped to your deck save? So that is a 15.
15 is a pass. As this undead creature emerges, trying to grab out and sink its teeth into you, you're able to close the chest.
Maybe don't put him in there.
Okay.
You guys want
Look,
to
we
tie him
have
up, put
rope.
him in the
Let's just
corner?
tie him up.
Yeah, let's put him in the
Maybe
corner.
you can like put a cup on his lap with a straw in it so he can drink that beer that he wanted.
Oh, smart.
He has to drink beer
That
through the
sounds-
straw though, so it's still a punishment.
Dreadful.
Wait, time out. What's wrong with drinking beer through a straw?
You all go ahead and tie up the anti-paladin with a bit of rope. Okay, what direction are we heading? North, east, or south?
East.
Which way has stairs that go up? Can we go open the door?
There are
and
no. You haven't opened any doors. You don't know that.
East.
Perfect.
Jake feels confident.
I had a
We're
22
gonna let
on that.
Silas
I
open
won
that
it.
door.
Absolutely. Silas, heading on over to the eastern door, you feel, oh, doesn't seem unlocked. Pushing it open, you see a small, thin room. And this is where the paladin had been looking towards in the fight. For your benefit, and actually, Alex, if you want to bring the battle kit out, you see a small room just to the other side here. And on this side, you can see a collection of these slits in the wall that can be slid over, that one could fire a bow, such as the one the paladin had on his back here, from here. But the room itself, as you enter here, looks like it has a couple more doors here that you're able to continue. But in the room itself, there look to be just a series of chairs, these slits. It's a place where someone could come back and attack from here. It does not appear that anyone was successful, able to move in here during that last fight.
fair.
And with that, we can close that back out.
Well, I've done my door.
All
Good
right.
luck.
You still have, so from where you're currently standing, there is another door that leads to the north, another that leads to the south.
North.
North
Perfect.
is up.
Always.
Perfect.
Always in video games. North is up.
I don't think that's how that works.
All right.
Of course it.
Who's leading the way as we head north?
Lilia.
Sure.
Elle. You all heading?
Dim light.
Well, it's 15 feet of
Yeah.
blinding
Yeah.
sunlight.
That's
join
what I'm
you.
saying. I'm like,
I'll
that-
join
it was.
you.
I'm
Yeah.
being sarcastic. Like,
Oh.
my super dim.
Oh,
light, yeah.
As you begin heading on through this small passageway, heading up to the north, as you open the door, you hear a sound, but there's another sense that's kind of overwhelming here. You just hear drip, 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 drip. But as you open this door, a wave of noxious fumes emanate from the crack here. You're able to close this. Make a con save for me as this tuft of green gas emerges.
Not great. That's going to be 14.
Huh?
14.
14? You're gonna take 4 points of poison damage.
So much for that healing.
And Victoria, you've been trying to say something?
Oh, I was gonna prestidigitate a clothespin to.
Is it a clothespin?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Great.
The smell overwhelms you. It is this horrible rot, but also it's like still. It's a smell of still water and mold and death.
Your boots got lucky.
I'm
Wait.
gonna rip off some of my shirt, wad it up, and stick it in my nose.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Are we going in?
So you said still
Yeah.
water and there's a dripping sound?
But there is a dripping sound.
It's a.
You
Where by?
prestidigitated-
Are we by the river?
For me?
You're not near the
For me.
river. You're not near the river.
Why? Oh God, I'm gonna have to investigate.
It's from the
that.
sewage.
What's in there?
It's also a drip. Well, you want to just head on in?
I'm going in.
Yeah.
Is anyone okay? Holding noses,
Clothespin.
I'm gonna do the
clothespin,
clothespin.
holding nose,
Tying my
stuff
trunk
nose.
around my head.
Oh, ridiculous, and I love it. You wear a trunk scarf, which is incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I.
But as you step in, even through these, the smell is terrible. But as long as you guys are taking prestidigitation or using a hand to pinch your nose, it's tolerable. The room itself, as you emerge here, is relatively plain, but clearly has been ruined by the recent effects of the liquid that has come through here. The dripping comes from the ceiling above. Drip, drip. The water is of this blue-green color, but as the water hits the liquid hits the ground, you see that it's formed a small pool, couldn't be more than a few inches deep, and yet the smell here is so intense. The water, it doesn't look like it's affected the ground in terms of, it hasn't been burning things, but it smells terrible in here, and the liquid appears almost entirely opaque.
Is this the smelly smell that smells?
It is the smelly smell that smells smelly.
And could I potentially be able to figure out what that smelly smell is?
You can certainly try if you tell me what sort of thought you're tracking.
It's a necromancer, and there's leakage. I'm assuming this has got to do with bodies.
Go ahead and make me. Go ahead and make me just an intelligence check.
Alright.
Can I pull out a vial and hold it underneath the dripping?
Oh, I was worried
I'm
you
gonna.
were gonna say that.
I'll tell you this: if you want to get that close and try to interact with this, I am gonna ask for a con save. It's versus poison.
Poison, so I have advantage.
Great. Make that con save for me.
I hope you get to nat 1. You deserve it.
That's not natural for you. But
No, it's a 19.
Con save. 13.
13.
Also being 13s too.
You also would take 4 points, but it's halved because you're a dwarf to 2 points of poison damage. As you. Oh, it's on your hand. Oh, it's on your hand. It's dreadful. You take a bit of this liquid. It is so. It's bluish.
Nobody
now that it's still,
prestidigitated.
but it's dreadful. There's just a hint of this murky green, and almost as you kind of gaze at this with the sunlight coming from the Martyr's Lament from Ililier, it almost looks like there's a tiny hint of a black liquid that doesn't perfectly mix in. It's like oil and water slightly, where it's spheres of the liquid bouncing around.
I dare you to
We
drink
are
some.
under
It
the
looks
morgue.
alive.
We're under the morgue. I got a 24.
Yeah,
24.
I dare you to drink some.
This water that's dripping through here is in a very small crack in the ceiling. This is the clear smell of death. Some sort of experiments are happening above where you currently stand.
I will, with as much gentleness as Mimi has in her, explain that that's definitely corpse rot.
I mean, it smells like death.
It is. I'll tell you this. That's such a high roll. It also, though, appears to have much too high of a higher water content you'd
Yeah,
expect.
he's been playing with it.
There's probably a tank of water somewhere
Okay.
that is leaking.
That's gross.
So you shouldn't miss a step.
Ooh,
Body
don't like
stew.
where my brain went. Yeah.
What is wrong with y'all?
You're here within this room. It's unpleasant. Most of you.
You seen Breaking Bad?
If you stay here too long, there are going to be additional saves.
Is there another door?
There's in this room that you have a door to the south, a door to the west, and a door to the east. I'll let you know, for simplicity's sake, the western and southern doors lead back to places you've already been. The west leading to that original door Quinwin looked at.
We go east.
East.
East it is.
Amanda's gonna be.
East?
I wish I could just tell Amanda that she was wrong for this. But as you open up this door, getting out of here, oh my gosh, it's like a breath of fresh air being where you are now. In this small hallway, getting out of here, you proceed. Silas, it's pretty uncomfortable as where you are. It doesn't appear like it's part of the normal tower, but actually still has been built in here. As you are squeezing through these small walkways, opening up the next door, the smell has been very well sealed behind that door. And as you emerge into the next room, see a couple of things. First, just so Amanda can be smug, you do see a staircase leading upwards. Incredible. But a couple more things are here. Where you are, this room itself does not appear to be simply a stairwell. As you kind of gaze around what's going here, you can see that there are a collection of somewhat abandoned, these shelves filled with what looks to be scraps of paper, small metal contraptions of various types, a large collection of what looks to be these various glass implements, some of them long with looks to be small handles like they're knives. Others are these strange hook-like shapes. And probably the most menacing is one long metallic rod that goes out about yay big, and then is a hook on the end.
Fishing. He's fishing.
Come on, I got it.
I read this Egyptology books
Yeah.
as a child.
Yeah.
These implements, likely for use on the probably the recently dead, are quite grotesque. However, looking around the room, there's also something strange. Despite these little the remnants of various projects here, on the far side of the room, you see a root of a tree that is emerging through the wall, and around it, the ground is clear of all of the ichor and filth. As the roots of this tree push down, you can see that nearby, the implements that are on the closest shelves appear to have been rusting away and wearing away on the direction towards this root. It appears that they've been destroyed to some extent by this plant that is here.
Can I go try to figure out what kind of tree that is?
Sure, this would be a nature check.
Could I help thinking of the purple moss and we saw a ton of
Sure,
trees.
you can also make this check. That's fine.
I was hoping to offer
Okay.
is there a way I could help.
Absolutely. To see if you go over, begin just gently taking a look. There's no harm, but there is this pleasant smell. Yes?
26.
26. The root is oddly pleasant, despite everything you've smelled, especially that stinking room to the west. You catch a whiff of morning dew, the smell of... There's a hint of pollen and spring air. This tree isn't it's not a natural... it's a naturally occurring sort of tree, but it's a magical tree. This is an elven oak. It's the root of one of those trees from the bulwark that still yet lives from the ancient days of Teyrilla. And it appears to have some sort of corrupting effect, at least from the purposes of a necromancer. It appears to be damaging what is nearby it, the necromantic things.
I'm gonna dismiss my prestidigitation, shake the chain out from inside of my sleeve, and just launch into another rant about exactly why you don't use towers because of the room we were just in.
You're ranting about it, and
I'm
they're
on a
over here looking.
tirade.
Look at this beautiful remnant of elven culture,
Oh
and how
my God.
it's so filled with life that necromantic energies do not like to exist nearby.
Yeah.
Thorn's
this
eyes
tree.
glaze over, trying to pay attention to what his meanie's saying.
So I guess
And I apologize.
Petting the tree.
Just a note, the staircase itself appears to, it goes up in one direction, rotates 180 degrees, goes up, leading to a trap door. So you have to push open the floor above you.
this is a weird question. Kind of how this is so hard to ask.
I have several more.
From ground level, could I somehow make an assessment of how high we've gone up?
You are
base?
underground
Okay,
still.
still.
You are just at the base. You would assume that once you've hit this, you're at ground level once you go up these stairs.
The root made me ask.
a magical
So-
tree.
Of the,
Take its part.
I know you guys aren't wood elves, but would it be rude if I just shaved a couple of slivers of wood
You know,
off of this thing.
Adding to the rest of this, what's going on here, you do see amongst this clutter are, with the glass and the metal, there are small bits of what looks to be bark and wood that have, you can see, it looks like some of them look, they're withered, others appear to have been partially turned to ash. Without an arcana check, you're not sure what the purpose of these things are, but a collection of them have been scorched or otherwise damaged in various ways.
I was more looking to just like shave a fresh piece of like the root off or something.
And if no one's stopping you, it's not particularly difficult.
Maybe just
do that.
apologize to the tree after.
Thank you.
Or ask the tree.
Yeah.
Permission, yeah.
I'll try to mind connect with the tree.
I think
You gaze into the abyss of nothingness inside of this tree.
does the tree have
taking-
more int?
It has an intelligence of 0. You take a small sliver of this root, and as you do, it is fresh in your hand, soft, almost a little bit damp like the morning rain as the root heals over.
Can I roll it up into like a ball and like stick it in my lip like a dip?
Sure. As
Chew
you
on it a little
do,
bit?
truly, it's incredibly pleasant for a brief moment. And then it gets a little barky, if you will. It's very rugged. I don't know how much camping you've done, but it's not great. It's not food for sure, but it's not toxic.
Okay.
That is such a good idea. Can I borrow the sickle? And do you want to take a?
Sure. I'll
Oh,
hand her the
hey.
sickle.
Nice.
Very, very clever.
Nice.
All right.
Do you have something to like preserve it in where it won't like?
That's the magic of the green thumb. That's what the green thumb does.
Perfect. I just don't have a container. I don't want stuff in my
I
stuff.
had not planned this.
That was
I'm gonna go ahead and give a
That
bicycle
was good.
to Clella. You go over, taking this. Are you saying a prayer or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna say a prayer to the Moon Mother.
Okay. Praying out to one of the major gods of the Elven Pantheon, you cut a large piece of this root off. As you do, the green energies emerging from it have this shimmering effect over the damaged portion that you've taken and collected. From there, you are able to place this to your side as the root heals, but it branches out into many, many smaller roots that now fall to the floor. One of them pierces through the stone and just sinks into the ground, continuing along the way. It grows a little bit.
Do
Get a
we?
You,
little
tree?
uneasy of that, and I walk out the room.
You're like, oh, no. You begin heading up the stairs.
Yeah, I'll head
Do you
towards
think
the
we could
trap
plant
door.
that at home?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
That's what we're gonna
Oh
do.
Lord have mercy.
We're gonna plant it, and then. Well, you
Or
keep
it's-
putting a hole in the ceiling. But I thought a tree would go better in a hole.
Who's you?
Actually, it's the vigilantes who
Yeah.
keep doing
It's
that.
right above my room, guys. It's
Talk to
right
them.
above my room.
Talk to them.
I put it in the bag of holding.
A room?
Can I want to keep it with Amateur. Is that okay?
Sure. You
Did
want to
that
keep
fire?
the bird with you? Sure.
And I'm gonna destroy the papers too before we.
Oh, you want to just walk over and burn the necromancer research here?
Can
You
I
begin.
grab the shards before you burn them? Because I want to play with them.
You got 5 seconds. Go.
The wood shard.
Oh, yes, the remnants of these are remnants of an elven oak.
I give her a round to grab it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that hook. I've never seen a fishing hook.
Sure,
this
it's a piece of
large.
metal. Oh, that's disgusting. You grab
What kind of fish goes for this?
you grab this long metallic implement.
Do I have string in my bag? Does it have a little circle? At
I
the
will
end?
not entertain this.
No.
So macabre.
I'm going fishing.
All right.
Yosef, let's go.
You all make your way, heading up the stairs. The notes destroyed, small bits of this elven forest here on your person. As you begin lifting up the trapdoor and readying yourself to finally reach the ground level here in Zerathal's lair. We're gonna go on a quick break, everyone. Now that Victoria is back. Welcome back, Victoria. We love to see you. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. We're gonna go top off our drinks, get ready for what's coming next, and we'll see you in a bit.
See you soon.
Welcome back, everyone. You all proceeded up, heading out of that small sort of storage area, up the staircase, lifting up the trapdoor into the ground level of Zerathal's tower.
This is pretty.
Oh, my players are just now noticing I put a new battle map on the table. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that
I know
is
what this
new.
is. This is a Minecraft potato farm.
We will. You know what? We'll see. We will see if it's that.
It's not a very efficient one.
I have never played Minecraft, but I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
All right, heading up the stairs, you all kind of peering around. Things here look considerably more finished than below, though the lighting here still leaves much to be desired. You can see where you're currently standing. One of the actual walls here is curved, the outer wall at ground level of the tower. So the tower itself that you're in one of the is within the wall of Elts. And as you all begin kind of emerging, it doesn't appear that there's anyone in this relatively small room. There's a singular exit to the room itself. And as you're looking around, there are torches with these metal sconces actually built into the walls themselves, giving the room a dull orange light that is quickly replaced with brilliant sunlight as Ililier steps in. Elle, you're not subtle. I appreciate it.
I could be, but I'm not.
You could be, but you choose not to. Do you have any preparations you'd like to make before we continue forward?
Before we walk in the room, can we see a skull? Is there anything visible?
Give me a quick perception check. So looking through this trapdoor,
Did we figure out what the scroll was from the
That's
power?
gonna be a 19.
it's a cast identify.
Which is pretty good. I rolled
Can
18
I-
on the die.
Looking around, no, you don't see a skull in here.
Can I pop my blood well ring?
Yes. You go ahead and.
I can only get 4 of those sorcery points back, but that's okay.
Oh,
I'm only 4th
And-
level,
Only
but
4th
that's
level.
okay.
that's okay.
It's been more than 10 minutes since the last fight, right?
You spent some time exploring. The bigger part was you looking at that tree. I would say was probably several minutes. Plus, you wanted to torch the room afterwards, getting rid of all the necromantic
I'm just going to.
scraps that were around there.
All the stuff I'm interested in.
That was not. We'll talk more.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm being catty.
Gwynwyn will pull out a red vial. Who needs healing before we keep fighting?
Adon, me, or
Adon's
Yeah, I'm still
mostly
low,
too.
full. He drank one of the potions.
I drank
but
2
full
potions.
I'm feeling all right.
I'm not at top, but I'm pretty okay.
I'm only
I'm
down
close to half.
12 hit points.
51 out of 69.
Oh, okay.
I'm close to half.
So he's about the same boat as me almost.
2d4 plus 5.
You let me roll these? You know I'm gonna roll badly. That's not bad. 10 healing for
I
me.
want. I have 1 left.
There's a brief lurch in the structure itself, and you watch as just a small bit of dust falls through the cracks of the ceiling above you. Some sort of event rocked the structure above where you are. Perhaps not directly, but some sort of event has occurred.
Another
just-
reason to hate towers.
Just looking at the map, are we looking
You're
at
not
it?
in this room.
Oh, we're not in this
You're
room.
not in this
okay,
room.
Okay.
There's no water in this room.
Just, I was
Oh.
confused. My bad.
I think we should just get into
I think we should just walk in
Yeah.
the room.
Sure.
Yeah.
You all kind of stand up, kind of stretching after being haunched over here for about a minute. You all kind of stand up looking around. It appears that you are in the remnants of maybe an armory. There are several shelves here, a couple of them bearing a collection of spears, but it does not look like it's complete here. There are no windows in the place that you are currently standing.
I'm not a blacksmith, but I had a great idea for Silas.
I'm a blacksmith.
We could just take a bunch of spears and attach them to the outside of his armor, and he can just.
I don't wear armor.
Spiked
Skin.
Did
spiked
you just
armor.
turn me into an Iron Maiden?
Spiked armor is a form of armor. It's also technically a weapon.
Right. I was thinking that that'd be a really great thing for Silas to do.
Grapple and then.
I just want to get you knee
Yeah.
pads that
Good
have
pads.
like daggers on them. I just
Or
think
shoes.
Knee
that way you can knee someone.
Silas the porcupine.
Okay. Now that we're in this room.
Pincushion.
Yeah. What's in the
Pick a
room?
pick.
But as you begin looking through it, it looks like this is the remnant of a small armory. The room itself has a thick layer of dust. As you're kind of glancing around, it does not appear that it is terribly disturbed, though. Yes.
No,
Ella?
continue.
Though there's only one point of egress for that, as far as you can see, which is a basic inspection, a single door leading out towards the south.
So the dust. You can go ahead.
As we walk through, anything look like the dust has been disturbed recently?
Make me a survival check. You're trying to see how many people have been through here.
'Cause
Information you can have.
Verak had to get
11.
down there.
11?
From
Kind
somewhere.
of looking around, it's hard to do anything specific, but you can tell, when I was talking about the room being dusty, I'm referring to the shelves with various weapons and pieces of what looks to be guard equipment here. The door itself appears a little bit more worn, perhaps, than the rest of the room. it appears that people are passing through here. They're not utilizing this room.
The Eltian Guard's very iconic in their look. Do we see armor there that is Eld's armor, or do we see armor and like weapons there that are like not associated?
This is an excellent question. Well, no full suit of armor exists. There are a couple of small armor racks, and while you can't say for certain, you do note that there is a bit of some small bits of red and black cloth on one of these shelves here for making repairs. It appears that at some point this may have been used by the Eltian Guard.
At some point.
Not recently from that survival check, but
We're on Berenger's land, kind of, right? Berenger?
We're in
you're in the wall
now.
that separates where Berenger lives and Hollyfandra.
Okay.
This is something to ask a guard later if you want.
Yeah. I'll keep brewing that idea.
So,
I think we should just keep moving forward.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Heading on forward, you begin passing through the hallway out to the south. Yeah, you all fall unconscious and die. No, you open up this room, and as you do, it's a bit of a mixed aesthetic here. You see again those metallic sconces, small remnants of what looks to be these red bits of fabric that have been dangling from the ceiling, decorating one of the walls. Some of them have been torn, others have been rotted away, eaten by moths over the years. But looking further across, you do see a very fine door along the shorter direction of the hallway, and then turning towards the side. Okay, turning towards the side, it appears to be empty where you're looking, but it looks like there are several more doors down a longer hallway, as well as looking as far as you can. It looks like another T intersection. There's quite a bit to explore one direction, less in another, but there is the shorter hallway here. It does have, the door itself is quite fine, a trim of silver. It looks much more well made than what you've seen previously here.
If we want to be thorough, we can just go kick in some of the doors on the longer route. And if we end up getting to the point where we'd go up, go back.
Is that you or is Meanie saying that?
That's Victoria saying that.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What are we doing?
No skulls in sight?
No skulls in sight as far as
Thorn
you
is going to start kicking in the doors.
Great.
You want to go to the fancy
Yeah.
door first?
That is,
No,
in my
Thorn
interest,
the other
We should do
doors.
the planar doors first.
Yeah.
We can each, there's like what? Is there 5 doors? We can each take one.
you just
Yeah.
kick doors open.
All
So,
at the same
1,
time.
2, 3, kick.
It's a friendship exercise.
Brilliant. Roll 4 initiatives. No, so as you all begin proceeding forward, who's leading?
I
What's your
guess
passive
I will
perception?
lead the charge on kicking the doors.
All right.
I'm so glad you like that idea.
Laurentius, as you begin heading over, passing down the longer hallway, the light kind of varying amounts of dimness. As some of the of bright and dim, as some of the torches are really in need of a replacement. A couple of them have been turned off, but again, you do have the light from both Silas and Alilier. You head over towards this first door. Oh, good. You kicking down the door?
I'm going to try.
Make a strength check.
Okay.
So you kick down the front of this door.
5.
5. You take 1 point of damage as you, you've pushed a joint into itself a little too hard and just kind of smarts when you put weight on the ankle.
Didn't measure it out right, kind of hyperextended the knee a little.
The door,
Oh no.
I'm going to just push it open.
as you push this over, a sight that, depending on your view of the arcane arts and
Why do you
morality, the arcane and morality may be beautiful or horrifying. The scene before you is quite grisly in a number of ways. Gazing about the room, you see a collection of glass vials with some sort of green bubbling liquid in them, a collection of these strange hulking figures. They're humanoid in shape, but they have their limbs each seem a little bit too long, a little bit elongated. Their heads brought low, their necks not bent over, but actually shrunken slightly. That each of them are walking around a series of these large tables, wooden on the top with metallic legs. There is a very chemical smell to this, similar to not an alchemist lab that's in use, but one that has been recently sanitized.
I don't know if I can smell it. I still have...
You still have the things up there? All right, that's fair. You shouldn't be talking like this now. But as you're kind of looking around, these creatures seem to pay no mind, and some of them are standing looking down at these strange contraptions on the table, what look to be small boxes or crates that are open on the top, and they're staring down to something that's going on inside of them. You hear the crazy...
Okay. Oh, I thought
Small,
something else was great.
small bits of sound. What was that?
I did not go to like rats in the crates. I went somewhere way worse.
But
thought they
these
were bright
creatures, not looking at you, one of them picks up this large rodent and begins walking over onto the far side of the room. You can see it's kind of walking like perpendicular to you for the most part. As it walks over, it takes its other hand, this long pointed claw, and begins marking on the side of the stone wall. Looking over, he takes a few more steps to this rat, hands it to another one of these creatures, and begins returning back to its original station after making these markings on the wall. A series, you're kind of looking at this, especially with those of you with dark vision, there are thousands of these small scratch marks. It looks like some sort of code, horizontal, vertical, and a couple of these small diagonal markings etched all around the outside. Another carrying a bucket of these strange rats. And as you're here, you can see several of them are coming. The ones that are in here are squeaking much louder as before. You're all just standing here, I'm assuming a bit as confused as you all are looking at me.
Yeah. I'm gonna start trying to close the door unless y'all are going in it.
We can mark it on the map for come back to later.
Yeah, I was just like,
These gray undead creatures do not seem to be paying attention.
Great.
What I will say before you close is you'll notice the big bin of rats are live. The small rat he was carrying was undead.
Great.
Undead.
We're just gonna have undead
Undead.
rats as a plague on the city. Let's keep moving.
Cool. Odd ask. Are there any doors that smell worse than this one did?
Make me a perception check with advantage.
Yeah.
As you stay in this kind of main hallway.
nice.
Ooh.
Perception, that's gonna be a 24.
24. Good news and other news. As you begin heading up, your friend's kind of still looking at this door, closing it behind you. You begin taking a moment, checking the doors. The really fancy door smells almost like nothing. Walking around a little bit further, there's one door that's quite rank. You continue walking around to keep looking, and as you try around the corner, you instinctively back up as shambling down the hall is a zombie. Does not appear to have noticed you, but it's just walking up. It's heading towards you. Silas, what are you doing? There's a solitary undead shambling through this hallway.
I'm making 2 swings.
You're gonna just swing out, crunch,
Yeah.
make your 2 attacks. The first one is with advantage because
Oh.
it was not aware of you.
First one with advantage is a 23 to hit.
All right, roll the second attack as well for me, just so we can know.
Oh,
With advantage.
without advantage. Sorry. I'm gonna re-roll that one.
Sure.
I know it was a 20. That is an 11 to hit.
11 to hit is a hit. You come out, crunch, in a second swing. How much damage is this? I need to know if you kill this before it's to act. The zombie,
21.
21 points of damage. Crunch. With Constitution saving throw. The zombie crumples to the ground, does not stand.
Is anything growing blue? Glowing.
No,
Okay.
does not appear to be.
Do you think we're heading in the wrong direction?
Well,
Yes.
intentionally heading in the wrong direction.
No, but if we were heading towards Zerathal, there would be skulls. So he could watch us coming.
Right. No.
We only saw 2.
The
I don't
fan-
think 2.
I do apologize. This is actually my fault. We didn't ever go into the previous room, the rat room. You would have noticed that there was a skull in that room. And that is entirely my bad, and I do
Never
apologize.
mind, we're heading in the right direction.
That is fully my fault here.
I figure he's probably the way up, probably through the fancier door.
Yeah.
Well, there is a
Right.
fancy door
Can
in
I-
this hallway too, is what it sounded like.
If all the doors are unlocked, I want to try to, like, like if you had like a roommate, you would put like a cup on the corner of the door, so when they open it would fall on them
No.
and splash them. I want to use my little alchemist acid things and like set them up like that, so when they try to leave the room, it's gonna fall on them and then
The
like,
metal
set them
balls.
So
on fire.
these are the
You mean
doors
your
you're
spicy
already
bombs?
exploring? The ones you're going into, the ones you're not going into?
Like the last one that I opened. Can I set that up so it's like the door's cracked?
By the rat room?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could set a little rat trap.
Just so when they open it, it's gonna fall and then catch on.
We don't need
At
those.
least he's using it.
Glass metal casing.
It's fine. I can make
But
another.
that's truly the easier part.
Yeah.
You just are literally learning.
The glass is the hard part.
I'll do the fire one.
Okay.
You put you set up a firebomb in front of the rat room.
Spicy bun.
I thought it was funny.
Oh, I think it's a great
Matt,
idea.
I think it's great.
At the end of this hallway, what does that
Was it
door look
spicy
like?
and sour?
So looking for the furthest door from where you originally arrived.
Yeah, after smacking that zombie around, what he was coming from.
Duduk.
It's locked.
No, it's push, not pull.
Thorn, come help.
Okay.
Sorry.
What?
I go. And then I put my hand.
Open sesame.
Oh no! We're just gonna keep trying. We're just gonna push on the door until it opens.
Yeah.
You wanna make a strength check, try to break the door?
I'm not gonna ask the person to pick the
Hey!
lock, okay?
Or the person
We're the
with
second
the
strongest in the party.
No, Silas would never
Or
actually
the
do
person
that.
who prepared a
Jake
knock.
would do it. Actually, though, I do want to look at the door. The handle itself, does it seem well worn? Like this is a trafficked door.
Really hard to tell. I will say this: you're not certain. Look, taking a look at here.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start doing like whistling bird calls until Gwenny comes over.
I just want you to know. We have
It's hard to
work this
whistle
out.
with a trunk.
really great is because what's to happen?
It's hard to whistle.
restores the great Telbador?
Is this the door saying that?
There's a voice. Stop it, Ed, and Eddie.
I guess that knock would have been really loud then.
Yeah.
Thieves' tools, not
A-
strong.
A strange voice emanates from behind the door, slightly muffled by the wooden exterior here.
It is.
It is I, Zerathal.
Make a deception check.
With advantage because that was so good.
All has a old
good
allergy.
advantage?
Apparently.
Oh. So her deception, that's a 13.
I have like
Orwin, your deceptions continue to fail and impress me.
One day I will get you. Ha 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 ha.
You are quite behind on your lessons, child.
What is behind but for tomorrow?
A small clicking sound as the door unlocks in front of you.
I actually hear him whisper, kick it, and I'm just going straight for it. I'm kicking the door in. It's unlocked. It's unlocked. Strength check? Yeah. It's a 5.
Was that a natural one?
That's a 2. It's a 5. Okay.
Did you bite your damage?
No, I was drinking.
And the door
like, mid swallow.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me, not it's just a pull. You kick this door. And, ow, God damn it. Do you want to just pull open the door?
Does he, when you pull open
Be a
the,
wizard.
when you pull open the door, does the person's nose on the other side like is it crazy? Just a guy with nose like blood.
All
pouring
of these
down
doors
his
are
face.
pushes. Why is this
If
one
it's so
cool?
bad, if you know what, if you hit his door. All right.
Sometimes your players do dumb things.
I thought that was phenomenal. Thank you very much.
As- you know, if you'd hit his nose, it would have been way more impressive. Because as you open this door, you see a few different things here. First, you see what looks to be a collection of these large mats have been placed on the floor. These are not rugs. They are some sort of padded mats. A little bit firmer than what a normal pillow would be. Each of them is about 8 to 10 feet long and about half that in width. There are several of these set up across the room. A number of these vertical pieces of wood with several different bars poking out in different directions, spokes coming out from them. And on top of that, you can see that each of these bears a number of scars, if you will, burn marks, small divots that have been worn out through them. And at the far end of the room on a pedestal that's raised up is a large jar with a brain floating in it.
Yes.
I need
Obstacle course.
Is the brain
Are you-
Training room.
If you hit the brain's nose, it would have been really impressive.
So we're taking the brain home with us.
Sorry, I just had like a mental image of just a guy standing there.
No, I did too.
Actually,
like just like stone face, just like this, but his nose is just like.
Who injures the great Telbadar?
No, it's fine. I was thinking for some reason Alice in Wonderland, the door itself was like a doorknob talking to me.
Yeah.
That's where I came from.
Who are you?
I love this room
So,
so much.
I don't.
I'm so excited.
Looking right here, there is a
Training room.
there is a shelf filled with a collection of tomes here. There are a number of these different training materials here. You see there is a large spiked flail that is laid up on one of these tables. It's a big,
it's probably
heavy sphere with spikes all around it and a large chain. It's a ball and chain. And as you kind of looking around here, the jar speaks. Are you ready for your training, Orwin? You are months behind.
Yes.
Do I just hear an L yes behind me?
I'm so excited.
It's just down the hall. I hear yes. I'm like,
I've been running a 5K every morning for
Can we
this.
smash
I'm
it?
saying yes.
Door in the room. Can
But
you see
I
another
need-
door?
Huh?
Is there another door in the room that he could see?
Looking around, there is a door on the other side of this room.
In a skull.
There is no skull in this room.
But the brain is still asking.
The brain is talking.
Well, I have Orwin's spellbook.
Can we do the training? Can we do
Could I
it?
please do the training?
We
do
don't
the
have
training?
time.
We'll have time.
Something
We'll be fine.
interesting.
But there's a lot of books. Can we start shoveling?
Stand on the green mat.
You want to share the green mat?
Let's go stand on the green mat
Can
together.
we step on at the same time? Can we time it?
I want to stand guard at the door.
Yes.
Another
You
undead
watch as
comes.
Ismini and Ililier stand atop this green mat, readying themselves. As a collection of these various colored magical orbs begin levitating around the room and fire at them. Yes. I'm gonna need a dexterity saving throw from both of you as you step onto this mat.
the blast shield down. I can't
16.
see anything.
16 is a pass.
Math.
It's like Jedi
20.
training.
Oh, great.
You know from that movie.
Which
You'll
one?
both,
There's like
you're
Star
both
Trek.
after the halving are going to take 8 points of damage. It's going to be specifically evenly distributed between fire, electric, cold, and poison.
Great.
We should take these.
8
rooms with
points?
us.
8
After
points
half?
of damage after half.
I'll use a
As
reaction
you all-
and negate it.
With what?
I'm gonna use my reaction to deflect strike.
This is not a melee attack.
Ah, okay, fair.
Yep.
As Orwin, who is behind on his studies, could you remind me about this flail? Am I doing
There's
this
a
right?
moment of hesitation. You hear the brain speak out.
Oh.
Orwin, did you not just step upon the training mat?
It's a new spell. I can speak from here while stepping there.
This usage of sending is inefficient.
I am behind on training for a reason.
I must inform Master Itlarian of your transgression.
Master Larry. New name.
I
You know that name.
hope you do not. He was rather stern last
It was a
time.
lady.
She was rather stern last time. Excuse me, there's something in my throat.
No, you guys know the name. It's Zerathal Itlarian.
Oh, I thought that it was the drow lady.
That was
What?
Priscilla. No, that's
You
Gordon's
threw me
mom.
off.
Labethel.
Labethel. I
Labethel.
found it on my notes.
I was trying so hard to find it earlier.
It's like lozenge.
You had me crying, Jake. That was so good.
I'm sorry.
Your japes are unbefitting of someone with such low scores.
I thought I was getting ahead of the game. Get it? Cause you're a brain.
You know I have excised my humor portions.
I am trying to exercise your humor portions.
So I'm gonna need you to make me a deception check with disadvantage as you
Oh my
continue
gosh.
this bit.
Okay,
You hear Thorn boo in your brain.
but I want you to know this is everything the player Jake has ever wanted in life.
Oh God.
This is the most chaotic Silas has been yet.
5. He is on the spot. He doesn't know what to do. 5.
Make a Christmas saving throw.
Oh, that was so close to being better. Charisma save? 9.
Enough. Telbador does not wish to continue these games. Be gone. You all watch as Silas, for a moment, it seems like his gray hide expands, the yellow receding. Is he getting nude? What's happening? When he emerges into a stone archway and a wooden door. Silas, I would like to hand you your new miniature as you become an animated door.
You know what?
Finally.
This is adorable.
Silas,
Learned
you are
nothing.
a door.
You learned nothing.
You are currently floating slightly above the ground. As your awareness shifts, you're able to levitate slightly, unable to leave more than about 5 feet off the ground. You are a stone archway with a door inside. Would you like to attempt to speak?
Actually, can I just go float over?
Could I just float over?
Did I see this happen?
Yeah, you watched your friend turn into a door.
Okay, cool.
So I'm floating over
Something
to
bad would happen.
Thorn. I want to swing open as fast as I can to Thorn.
Make an attack roll. You use this as of your weapon, only your weapon is a D12.
Oh no. Does a 24 hit Thorn?
Yep.
Why? Jake, that's so much damage.
I have never
Are you,
hit.
are you choosing, are you trying to hit him?
I was opening in jest. Like I want
Cool.
to smack his ass.
Minimum, what's your strength modifier?
+3.
You take 3 points of damage. Equivalent of an unarmed strike. Not trying to do it.
What's happening to
Do we
those?
still proceed through the training course?
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna take it back.
Do you want to continue?
We've been continuing.
Oh, absolutely. I need you guys each to make me a strength check as as this rotating spiral-like piece of wood with the different spokes comes
I'm gonna
out.
spit on the door.
I don't want to do that. I want to firebolt it.
Make your cast your spell. Strength saving throw.
A saving throw? Oh, does it matter?
Strength check.
-1 for a 16.
16 is a pass. You take no damage.
Does a 12 hit?
A 12 hits. As you strike with a firebolt, it shatters, and you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as it spirals, pop, 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 spinning into you. You watch as Elle gets struck several times and just throws a bolt of flame and destroys the training equipment.
We're training.
I was always allowed to destroy the training equipment at home.
You have burned another of my appendages. It must be Lady Aeonia.
Of course. I say in a very weird voice.
Make a charisma saving throw.
I only have one feather.
Stop. I just want to say, the door.
I don't want to be a door. I don't want to be a door. I'm giving a positive.
No!
I'm
Not
not
waste the
for
bicycle
this.
here.
What is happening?
I've had more than one bicycle at a time for
Great.
the first time ever, and it's made me drunk on my power. Yeah, that's going to be a 12 still.
A 12?
Uh-huh. It was a 7 before.
Do you know what this hinges on? The door hinges.
Am I a door? No. Am I a
You're
door?
not a door. Here is your miniature. As you turn into a small, you turn into a tabby cat. Now then.
Can we?
This is full circle.
Full circle.
So I started Dungeons and Dragons.
Can we?
All right.
Okay, cool. I'm still
Kill
in
the
the
brain?
training. No.
What?
Can we leave? He's got great knowledge that must be passed down.
Are you
to
standing like just outside the door too?
I'm watching the hallway, like in the door frame. Yeah.
I'm the new door frame.
Hiding his meanie. His face.
Silas, as a door, several of these
Drop
bolts of
door.
magic strike against you, doing a superficial damage. Did not enough to hit your AC.
Okay.
I'm trying to swipe
Wait,
Ravenor
time out.
from my position
I'm
in
holding,
his
like-
meanie's arms.
Can I try something? Can I attempt to like door myself
I'm
out
being
the
a
door?
cat. This is great.
You are too large to fit through the door frame because you are a door frame. Connor is not having this.
Where does your door go to? If you step inside, what happens?
It's just a flap. He's just a door.
So like, do I step through him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't said this in college since college, but enter whenever you want.
Oh. Oh God.
No.
I'm gonna go home now.
That's on the internet.
Your Four Loko.
Forever.
I'm not cutting that.
Someone get it on clip.
Let's tell everyone about our humble beginnings.
Yeah. While all of this chaos is going around, I'm just gonna say, oh great master, as a new student to your training, what would you have me know?
Make a deception check.
Is
Just
Vini,
kill the brain.
Thorn is going to mind connect with you and start counting down from 20.
Okay. 13.
13. Okay.
You're holding me and I'm a cat.
Yeah. I am.
19.
I was unaware that a fifth had been taken on. But I will not question Master Idlarian nor the Undercroft.
He's promised great powers to those who passes.
What do you know of the arcane? This is, again, a brain in a jar.
I specialize in binding and sealing magic.
It is most fortuitous to have one who will aid Master Idlarian in capturing the Callister. Perhaps you will be able to study her corpse.
It would please me beyond measure to study the Callisters.
All right, as you begin,
He doesn't tell a lie.
he
Not lying.
begins back and forth where he begins asking questions about your knowledge of the weave, of the fundamentals of components and basic magical theory. Small objects are essentially prestidigitated before you. Basic, 10th level studies stuff, like not 10th year stuff. All very basic things as you're going through here. How's your countdown going, by the way?
I think I'm at 10.
I'm really trying to get as much as I can out of this guy.
During the course of this, what are you trying to glean as he's beginning to teach you these fundamental basics?
I'm expressing to him that I know that some of Master Itlarian's other students have received these boons with these mechanical constructs that are giving them these extra powers.
You will receive your serpent once you have impressed the Undercroft, just as the others had.
I would only be lucky to have such a wonderful...
Fires another beam at the door. You
5.
take 4 points of fire damage as it strikes you with another bolt of flame.
Wait,
Be
what
silent.
strike
Huh?
Did the head strike me?
Yeah.
The brain has been shooting beams.
Yeah.
This whole room is filled with his magic. He's cast 30 plus spells in here.
I'm gonna be moving close to him.
You begin floating closer. Doesn't seem to react. It's a brain in a jar that
Right.
appears blind.
I'm just attempting to get any knowledge that I can. I'm trying to impress him.
While she talks, first of all, I'm gonna full mozzarella get out.
Great.
I'm just mozzarella. I'm going to go and obnoxiously meow at all the books until Gwynwyn just stuffs in that room.
1.
I'm going to mozzarella. I'm gonna scream. I'm not going to that room.
Let me know when
Mozzarella
I
is
can
my cat
cast
at
this
home
spell.
that yells all the time. She's very loud. For context.
Aggressive.
She's very aggressive. And we love her.
0.
0, yeah. I throw a sour ball at I cast a catapult at it.
You catapulted into a jar of brain,
At the brain, yeah.
spending your spell slot enough, lobbing this thing, accelerating it with magic, firing at the brain itself, as is going through the air, just in the arms. This orb is flying through the air. Terrible. This terrible demise is about to happen to Telbador the Great. One more chance. You said you were buttering him up, showing off your skills. What do you want to glean? Is there one more piece of information you'd like?
I want to know what his... with the Zerathal as his student, what was the most accomplished he felt in teaching him? I want to be just like my master.
You're asking what he taught Zerathal?
Yeah, what was the most accomplished he felt in teaching Zerathal?
Nonsense. Zerathal is who brought me to you. I, Telbador, have only once been bested.
By who?
As it grows.
Zerathal Itlarian.
You have to get bested again, bucko.
It strikes the jar, shatters. No!
Bucko is now in his minis.
Fully shattered.
She is great.
Fully shattered the jar as the acid spreads. You just the acid directly onto a brain. This brain quite a bit oversized. You're not sure.
Such a smart wizard. I wanted to learn from him, and you know,
Lauren got bored.
Don't worry,
At least you can
also
turn into a
learn.
cat or a door.
Don't forget the middle casing. Until the brain is dead, I'm not going inside that room.
The
But
brain,
tortured Gwynwyn.
the brain fully begins to sink and the remnants of the jar dissolving. As the brain begins, small pieces fragmenting off, dissolving into the acid. Several pieces of the room begin to become a bit more dull.
He's gonna move out of the way or something.
The wooden, the bookshelf from before, the wood begins to rot. The bindings of the books begin to lose their vivid color as they begin to rapidly shift. We doing anything while the room is degrading?
I'm
Am I still a cat?
You are still.
I'm going to torture Gwynwyn for not getting my
I'm
books
I'm outside.
or my metal casing.
I'm
so
gonna
is-
quick scan to see if there's anything that's like. Does anything scream "I'm a wizard" spellbook?
Give me a quick investigation check.
Sorry. Screw it.
Oh!
It's the one with My Little Pony stickers on it.
Oh gosh. 14.
No wizard spellbook that you can see. However, you're glancing around and beginning to burn inside the jar with the brain. You see as it burns away, there is a small crystalline object that was embedded inside that is beginning to get damaged by the acid. It is a crystal.
Misty step over, grab it, run.
Misty step. You grab this iron stone out of the acid, ripping a crystal.
I'm gonna mark that off.
Only 2d6.
2d6?
Yeah.
Do some damage to me. Come on, let's go.
6.
6 points of acid damage.
Great. Arcane word still.
As you yank this stone out, burning your hands. You've got fire and acid burns in your hands. It's really rough
sucks.
at this point.
And I did some bloodletting earlier too.
Hey, it's clean now.
Why did we do any of that? That was.
These two.
I started torturing Adon instead. I torture him more.
Oh, he's just so cute. He scoops you.
So wait, is L like a cat?
Elle is still a cat. As the room begins to
Or
fade,
is
though.
L but in cat form?
Elle is Elle, but her intelligence is now 3.
Oh.
That's why I'm bothering
cat.
everyone.
Your intelligence is also now 3. However, as
More
the
than
room
Thor.
finally,
Welcome to the
as the
party.
brain finishes his death and the room finally returns to this dusky, decrepit state, as many of the books now moth-eaten and ruined, the door shifts back into Silas, and you land on the ground. Adon drops L as you shift back into a person. There's like a really unpleasantness in your throat. Something gross.
You got that random
Yeah.
ear you pull out of a pouch.
Not today, sorry.
Okay.
You know.
You feel like you've been licking a couch.
Ew.
Ew.
Did anyone grab the metal casing?
We haven't left the room yet.
Oh, is it not destroyed?
Which metal casing?
I want my sour bomb back.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll grab it. Whatever.
You able to quickly, because the acid only lasts for a little while. You didn't react with the
Mage
other
hand
chemicals.
it.
Mage out, pull it out. Got
Well,
the
the
casing
room was
back.
gonna blow up, so I was like being as fast as possible.
Oh,
Well,
Books.
we're
you
here,
do.
though.
You have an iron
We at least
stone.
have the metal.
It is a thin, clear crystal that has a small outcropping, like a disc. It's almost like if you had a washer and a small piece of quartz in the center of it, but all of it's made of the same clear crystal. It's a strange-shaped iron stone.
And there wasn't anything in the room that wasn't degrading.
Not as you kind of look around. It looks like all of the things that were for training were being conjured by the brain.
Including a flail. I haven't forgotten.
What's Silas?
As you kind of glance over at this this object, it's still present, but you can see that in its current state, it appears heavily rusted. Several of the spikes have been damaged, removed, or are in various states of decay. But looks like at some point this was something pretty useful. Maybe it could be repaired.
This is definitely cursed. I'd say as
Put-
staring at it.
Put
Okay, I'm gonna
spikes
go ahead
on
and
the
tie that up and
bombs.
just put it in a bag somewhere.
Sure. You want to put that in your bag?
I've got an axe
Note that
and
for
I've got
later.
a flail now. I'm probably overloaded.
Did you want to put something in the bag of holding?
I'm not putting sharp objects in the bag of holding.
Grab it.
With, are there any rugs in the room?
I'm
There
taking-
are
No.
there are very much ruined mats.
You could wrap the flail in the rug.
I was gonna take my shirt off, but yeah.
Oh, well, you could do that if you want.
Aren't you wearing like a single piece?
Yes?
Hey, speaking of you having your shirt off, how's your shoulder doing? Was the PT helping?
It should have, but hell, she never stops with the request. There's a hole in my ceiling. It never stops.
You really ought to consider letting your friends rest more.
There's a ceiling above.
That's usually where ceilings are.
There's a hole in the ceiling right above my bedroom.
From the door that's past you, you just hear.
Should we open the rest of the doors?
We should open
Yeah.
the
I was a cat.
You were.
I'm mourning
If-
the loss of this great master.
If nobody's gonna stop me, I'm gonna prop up a little alchemist fire or sour on top of all the doors and just leave them cracked.
We have to tell him that they're not free.
That's fine.
I'm-
Can we go through the fine
Yeah.
door?
Yeah, let's go.
Leave this hallway.
Sure. Who would like to open the fine door?
I'm so injured.
No! Why is this a sad face?
Wait,
You'll always put me in the front.
let's like Gwynwyn open the door.
Yeah, but
She's got feet
Wait, wait.
stools.
I need you to make me a charisma saving throw.
I'm sorry.
I'm not bad at those.
Is it a nat one?
Write it down.
Okay.
What did you roll?
And that one.
Gwynwyn. This is strange. There's this harsh wind as the frost begins. As you step through the door, there's a massive blizzard. The snow has begun buffeting you, and it's hard to see. You look like there's rolling hills before you, each covered in a thick layer of frost. You turn to look at your friends, and there's nothing behind you.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Maybe I should have opened the door.
So.
Do we see her?
Gwynwyn disappears.
Oh, shit.
I'm just gonna
I killed Gwynwyn.
the hammer and start trying to put it through the door. Does it go
Me
to?
cat again.
The door. Oh,
Easier.
Gwynwyn teleported from your point of view. She just blinked out of existence.
Well,
Magic people.
Gwynwyn, make me a Constitution saving throw.
There's nothing where she was.
There's a door.
No, I'm saying
Oh.
like, if I reach in where she was.
She's not there.
16.
16. As you're in here, as we get started here, you're going to take 5 points of cold damage. As you begin kind of looking around, we're going to go out here to your friends first, and then we'll see what you're doing inside.
Door open
It's
now?
freezing. Do you want to try to touch the door?
I'll use Mage Hand.
Gazing into the next room, what you see is a bit odd. As you kind of crack open this door just a small amount, you see what looks to be the edge of there's a wooden floor that goes out just a little ways before dropping off. And then off to the side, you see a stone walkway. Because you only have the crack of the door, I can only describe like half of the room. As you're looking down, you see what looks to be a blue-green tank of liquid that has been fully. Something's moved or dispersed it recently, as it has a small wave effect to it. It has been recessed into the floor. There's a tank of liquid on the ground. Yes, Connor, you can look at the battle map that's on the table, but there's not light in there. You're using your dark vision to see inside. It appears that if there's anyone inside.
Can I look at like the threshold of the door? Is there like a magic seal?
Give me an investigation check.
That's not
Okay,
bad.
13.
13? Well, you wouldn't have been able to determine what it did. Via the context of Gwynwyn having disappeared, it looks like there is some sort of expended, there's a small collection of these salts and powders that is on the ground here that has appeared to have been burned. It looks like a small thin trail of burned dust up to the door itself.
Gotcha.
It appears that some sort of trap might have been triggered.
Why do dwarves insult sound familiar?
Push the door open the rest of the way, and then
Hi, I am a Lilie. Silas, can you smell Gwynwyn still?
Silas, you can't smell Gwynwyn anymore.
Giving Clolla credit
As
for that
the
idea.
door is opened, I didn't. Okay, this is very exciting. Let me go ahead and start setting up the battle
Hi.
map.
What?
I'm a wizard.
You are, in fact, a wizard.
Would I be smart enough to figure out, potentially, if dispelling the magic on the door would bring back Gwynwyn?
Go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
I guess I'll be in the front.
It's fine. We're fine.
Don't worry, I'm not. I'm moving you guys just a little bit. We're gonna get a little more information before we do initiative.
I have a very bad
I think
idea.
they're sealed. I don't think it's like an open body of water.
I have my Arcana.
They're like tanks.
You have your what?
27.
Oh. Oh yeah.
19. I'll die.
Plus 5 it.
Yeah.
Hey,
And in
one
proficiency.
of those peoples.
As you all begin stepping through the room, 27?
27.
25?
27.
27. Okay.
27.
I just misheard her say the number back. I'm so sorry. As you kind of look at this, it's possible that you could try to dispel this effect. Unfortunately, it appears that she was either teleported or banished somewhere.
Okay.
So it's more likely that the spell is wherever she is.
Where
would
she
need to
is.
be dispelled?
A 50-50 shot.
50-50 shot.
Either yes or no.
You've got it.
Yeah.
But
That's how math
where
works.
she is, where she is, you're not certain. It doesn't appear like this was some sort of targeted banishment,
Right.
but instead someone was sent away.
Okay, cool.
Let's go back to the elemental plane of ice.
Great.
There's
Enjoy.
a plane for that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
4 elements.
That's fine.
It's technically a para-elemental plane, but
She has fire. She's safe.
Gwynwyn! Unbeknownst to you, your friends have all entered a room filled with enemies. As you've been moving through here, you see off in the distance, some of those hills seem to be moving. Massive, lumbering, glacial creatures. What would you like to do?
Can we make an Arcana check to see, like, if I know what spell brought me here?
Sure. I actually have a DC for that. DC 19.
15.
15. You have been moved somehow, so presumably some sort of conjuration, but the specifics you're not sure.
I'm gonna try it anyways. Can I try using the Phoenix Feather to dispel magic on myself to see if get rid of whatever effect happened?
You begin casting the dispel magic, and perhaps as you finish the incantation, some of the last thoughts are, this is nothing to send me home, or I'll be locked here forever. And as you do, that'll be your action on this turn. We'll talk about what happens on your turn. Let's talk about the rest of the party. As you all begin stepping into this room, you see two of these tanks parallel to one another of this opaque green-black liquid. Let's go ahead and get the battle map on here. As across the room, you see a tiefling woman in a red garb, familiar to you. One of those twin monks you saw before. Let me go ahead and...
Oh, right, yeah.
That winks.
Oh, thanks. These two tanks that lead further across the room, you see this tiefling monk, a pair of undead with massive axes, each flanking her on each side, or one of them flanking on her on each side, and a massive sarcophagus-like structure behind her, partially ajar. This room itself has a number of oddities around the side. What looks to be a wash basin, several barrels with black markings on them. The water has ripples still moving across it. As you all step in, the woman smiles and says, "At last." Bit of mania in her eyes. Roll for initiative, win-win included. Go ahead and have a Dawn go on your turn as meanie.
Double digits finally.
Was this cocked?
Flipping past Bastard the Unicorn.
Oh, we picked that up. Do we need to cast?
No one has used
Identify?
Identify.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
We're not
Separate.
using.
It's also with Gwynwyn.
It's in the bag of holding.
All right, going around the table.
Should just
Laurentius?
11.
11 for Laurentius. Silas?
3.
Gwynwyn?
12.
Nice. Is Meanie?
18.
Not bad.
Why do you seem not excited?
Oh no,
Lilia?
that's gonna be
Actually, also 12.
Your dex is higher.
Yeah.
I am not short enough to fit in my own bag of holding. Thank you very much.
Just have to hold her breath.
So can I get clarification on, are these tanks
Back and
sealed or are they open?
These are open air tanks. The liquid has been
Okay.
is sloshing around ever so slightly in them.
Cool.
Let
Smell?
me see here. This room. Oh, well, we're gonna get. You'll see on
We'll
his
get
Meanie's
to it.
turn. We'll see on his Meanie's turn.
Oh, great.
Yay.
Okay, and perfect. Ismini, you have the drop on this tiefling. She looks at you. Finally.
Cool.
Is that his meanie or is that Victoria?
Victoria, what is Ismini doing?
I am casting magic missile on the monk.
Hell yeah.
All right. All right, go ahead and cast that spell. Several of these darts fly across the room, immediately striking her for 6 total damage.
Yeah, those ones.
Yep. One on the die means 6 total damage.
Yep, that's me. And then Adon is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's gonna move up a little bit. So 5, 10. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go there, and then he's going to. Oh, he has to throw his hammer.
Yeah, he only has
So
one.
we have to go get it back.
Yeah, he also has an
Fire
unarmed.
flask.
Oh, he's a flask.
Yeah, we gave him 1 fire flask.
What are the numbers on those?
Just a D4, I believe.
No, it's alchemist fire. 1 sec.
Yeah, it's,
Sorry, I
it's
don't
just
have
a
that.
D4, I believe.
Me, I forget they exist.
Do you want me to throw it at the monk?
Yeah.
It's not on my sheet as far as definition, but I believe alchemist fire is
It should have been in your notes.
D4.
Yeah, so he makes a range attack roll using the stats of his hammer.
Natural 1.
Natural 1, throws it past the sarcophagus, is struck with his flame and begins to
Mark me down
ignite.
for that nat 1. Got one.
Got one.
That was
All
bad,
right,
though.
it is going to be her turn.
Great.
This monk, seeing what's going on. Yeah, okay. It's going to go ahead and move right here, and is going to attempt to shove Adon into the liquid.
Athletics?
Yeah. 22 to beat.
17 plus 7, 24.
Nice.
Aw, thank you, Adon.
So good.
Yeah, you're done.
I'll fucking do it again.
Okay.
Ooh. 11.
22.
That's sucks hard.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, she's gonna go ahead and she's gonna provoke from Adon.
And we're just gonna go
I
ahead.
don't want to be on the walkway.
Right.
Not a good look
Yeah.
for you.
You guys are so mean today. 22 hits.
Oh, I was gonna say you might be able
You guys
to
are bullies.
replace the hit with a grapple.
6, probably. I guess maybe, yeah. 6, 10.
10 points of damage.
Yeah. There we
All
go.
right.
I can add.
Adon strikes down at this monk as she ducks away. She has to roll out of the way, narrowly missing what could have been a fatal strike from that big old hammer. That's going to be Ililie's turn. Gwynwyn, you're next.
Okay, I'm gonna move forward. Also here,
Okay?
and then I'm gonna firebolt at the undead.
Firebolt to the dead, the one on the right?
Actually, I'm gonna firebolt the monk. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's not cocked. It's 12.
12 is going to be a miss.
Yeah.
You watch as you're bringing up the strike, she brings up her forearm and it shatters across her skin.
Cool. And then I'm gonna take the rest of my movement. They get up to here, 35
Okay.
feet. And that's the end of my turn.
All right, Gwynwyn. So you dispel the magic. You watch as the feather, freezing in this plane, it's so antithetical to what it is, begins curling up so small. Whoop. You pop back at the door.
Hi, guys.
That is
was
your
really
action.
cold.
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh, I thought I killed you.
Coated in ice. I'm so sorry. I should have done this at the start of your previous turn. You'll take 3 more points of cold damage.
I am so cold right now.
There's a thick layer of ice all around you, and you're finding it difficult to move. Like you're having to pop some ice out of the joints in your armor. But you're fine. Gwynwyn, that was your action for this turn. It's going to be then Laurentius's turn.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast the monk.
I like it. I respect it.
We recognize her.
Nice.
Math 20 and a Math 21.
Both of those will hit.
18. Wait, no.
Oh my gosh.
18 plus 23 points of damage. Sorry. And
23 points of damage.
I'll move up. 5, 10, 15. And I'm going to try to pull this guy into the.
All right. These are pretty beefy boys.
Fair enough.
That's a 9.
That's a fail.
Splunk.
The creature falls into the water and sinks.
Nice.
Get out and swim.
That's my turn.
He's gone.
It's very thick.
I do apologize.
Peanut butter.
We're gonna go ahead and do this now before the undead's turn. Everyone who has acted already, if you could go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw, as the horrid stench fills the air.
Is it
It is poison.
15.
15.
21.
19.
Pass. Pass. Pass.
20 on me and 11 on Adon.
All right. So everyone but Adon is gonna take half of this.
Okay.
So it's 9 points to Adon, 4 points to everyone else.
Okay.
2 points to people with resistance to poison.
I am
Yes,
bloodied.
always.
9 points to Adon.
Yep.
Okay.
We will then. We are then going to go on down to the undead's turn. One undead is going to use his action to dash as he attempts to climb up the side of the tank. I'm gonna make a strength check.
Can he not swim?
For a brief moment, you see an undead begin clawing its way up and slide back down.
Can we see in the water?
No, it's very opaque. It's bluish green. It is moving quite a bit more.
Is it stinky in here? Like it
It's yes, that was the poison damage from before. You were above where you were previous.
Great. That's what we thought.
From there, we're gonna go to Silas.
Honestly, nothing crazy. I'm gonna take the dash action.
Oh, I'm so.
and-
Continue.
No.
I made a mistake. This guy's gonna go up here and attack Lilia. We'll talk about the numbers later.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine if he attacks Lily. I'm gonna dash so that I can get. If I need to make a jump from this square to that corner, I will, but I want to get behind the monk.
5, 10, 15. Yeah, absolutely.
Dashing.
Running over here, it will provoke from the one who attacks Lilia.
That's fine.
Oh my gosh. You shove the sarcophagus out of the way. There's a 19 to hit you, Lilia.
I'm gonna react.
Sounds is thick.
Yes. with
I'm
disease.
gonna reduce
11.
16.
16. Okay.
I'm not gonna spend arcane point.
Reduce the damage to 0. Very powerful.
Running low on those things.
It only work. It doesn't cause an arcane point unless you deflect. Swing back.
Yeah, I'm just running low on arcane points.
Perfect.
In general.
It's going to take its attack for opportunity over at Silas. That was its actual attack on you. Miss. All right, Silas, you dashed across the room, got near the monk. This one will have revenge for my sister.
Which one was your sister?
sassy today.
That's so mean.
Silas woke up so sassy.
You all
She
chose violence
kidnapped
today.
you.
Are you
They
just upset
kidnapped
because
you.
you were a door?
They did kidnap me. They
Would
also
someone like to roll me a
friends-
d4 for
Can I-
one?
Dry.
Ask her a question first.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
Don't you have a friend named Jared? Where's he today?
Where is Jared?
2, 1, 2. Emerging from the ichor, splashing this liquid up into the air. At first, you see what looks to be a long, thin limb that continues forming a wide, bulbous form. The base of what's still somewhat obscured under the liquid. Tori's giving me the angriest look. I appreciate it. Emerging out here, not with a roar, but with a is this horrible creature. Boils and strange orifices pulsing open, teeth jutting out of various parts of its form, and on the front, a sickly pink color as there's this Sarlachian mouth on the front of it. I think that's an actual adjective.
And then it goes back under the water, and
And we don't have to deal with it.
We can't say that. Got the feed. No. So
Does your family have any books on this one?
it looks up. Laurentius, it makes eye contact with you, blinking slightly with one of its many blue eyes that are embedded at various points. No face.
This is literally Thorn's face.
So the amalgamation is going to act. It's going to first make a bite attack on Laurentius. It's a 16 to hit.
I don't want this thing to touch me. I'll shield.
ew.
It tries to bite you with this massive
Good idea.
sphincterish mouth. That's what it is.
It's got ALM, yeah.
But is
Yeah.
it kind of like an octopus that has a beak to it too, or is it like
No.
beak?
But it
or
tries to bite you with its many rows of teeth. With that, it's then going to continue its multi-attack. It's going to go ahead and make a tentacle attack. We're going to move forward just a little bit, swimming through the water. It moving its misshapen, lumped legs, rolls of fat and muscle just laying on top of one another. Amanda's like, nah.
No.
It's going to make a tentacle attack. Let's go ahead and we're going to make a tentacle swing at Laurentius and a slam attack at Adon. Laurentius, natural 1.
It's a miss.
Adon, 15. It's a
15's
miss.
a miss. Yeah.
It comes up striking at both of you. You watch as it strikes Adon, it slams on the tentacle. When it comes toward Laurentius, it actually tried to wrap one of the limbs around, but you're able to mentally shove, like you can shunt some of the force with your powers, and you're good to go. Top of the round is Meanie.
Great. I hate that. I hate everything that you just did.
Yeah.
I'm going to. Yeah, my little friend is.
So many noises today.
My little friend Squawk is going to help me hit this really creepy monster thing. Yeah.
I can make all the sounds, I guess.
Yeah.
Flying squawk around.
So I'm gonna use Chill Touch because I'm scared of this thing and I want to test the waters.
When does this thing start and end? That's my problem.
Right. So Chill Touch on it.
It's so gross.
Can't tell if it's coming or going, you know?
16 to hit.
A 16 hits.
Great. This will be 2d8 necrotic damage. It cannot heal, and if it is undead, it has disadvantage on attacks against me. 7 points of necrotic damage.
7 points of necrotic damage to the amalgamation.
So it's just you, not anyone
me.
else? Okay.
Attacks versus me.
Your spectral hand grasps onto one of the two big tentacles atop its torso. You're eked out just a little bit here.
Yeah. And then Adon's gonna move forward to get into flanking with Silas,
Okay, charging up towards the monk.
and go ahead and just do a disadvantage attack to do heavy swing. So flat
Perfect,
roll.
flat roll.
That is a 20 max.
Big swing, big swung. That's a hit. Roll the damage. Big swing, big swung.
I don't know.
I don't know where that one came from.
That happens.
You should leave the jokes to me.
20 points of damage.
Am I?
20 points of damage, and I'm gonna kill Jake, not Silas.
You might want to check your drinks from now on.
Look,
Yeah.
it's the four
I mean, look at that.
Right.
Good.
Antifreeze. Yeah, we're great.
It's been swapped.
It does look like Windex. All right, that is going to be Danatriss's turn.
It does.
It tastes like it.
First, I'm gonna make an attack roll against
Well.
Silas. Silas, I'm gonna need you to make me a Constitution saving throw as she's going to perform a stunning strike.
Con save.
She hits you low.
Oh, that is a 14.
You are stunned
On a 14.
on a 14.
Nice.
You are incapacitated. You automatically fail strength and dex saving throws, and attack rolls against you have advantage.
Is that until her next turn or my next turn?
It's until the end of your next turn.
Go for it.
I'm gonna go ahead and make I'm gonna go make my other two attacks at you as well. First attack, well above a 20. Second attack, well above a 20. I'll give you all the damage together. Yes.
Cool.
It's going to be 22 points of total bludgeoning damage. She pop, pop, pop strikes against you several times and is going to provoke from Adon as she moves over next to the sarcophagus.
Yeah, I don't have advantage because he's moving.
Because he's incapacitated.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
incapacitated.
Cool. That'll be 23 to hit.
23 hits. Roll that damage.
I was just shifting. I'm sorry.
Oh, they were helping me with my math. 8, 16, 15, 14. 14 plus 4, that's 18.
18.
There's some subtraction
Right,
in all
so
of my
you're-
addition.
Do you guys have history with this lady?
Yeah, she abducted Elle, or helped abduct Elle.
Jared.
Yeah, she was in the group that abducted Elle.
Uh,
She's just over here
on her
wailing,
turn, she kind of looks.
like, why?
This one.
Why
This
do
one
I-
will have her sister returned.
Ew.
It's really sweet that they're like support her.
And once she begins trying to. This is flavor. She begins trying to push the lid of the sarcophagus off. It will take an action to actually do it. But
Yeah,
we're gonna go down to Lilier's turn.
I'm not excited about the dead monster.
I'm gonna
sarcophagus.
swing.
Yeah. Do you mind making me? And I do apologize. Elle, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, she's a Dawn Knight.
Yes.
Is it from the smell?
Oh, I still have the things in my nose.
I got a natural 20.
Oh,
Nothing
that's
else.
gonna help. But
Sweet.
Dawn. I got a 15 and Dawn got a 17.
Dawn takes. You both take 2 points of damage.
I'm gonna swing my sword at the undead.
Swing your sword at the undead. I like it.
Got sad because I picked up 3d8, but I only need 2. I'm not weapon bursting. 8.
You want a weapon burst?
No.
Okay.
I'm 13.
13 points of damage against the undead. That's a big hit against him. These guys aren't the strongest. They just hit a little bit harder. You strike out against him that first hit. You want to swing again?
How hurt does he look?
Not bloodied.
Okay. Other people have got the other person. I'm gonna swing again.
You are particularly good at undead.
Cool. That's going to be well above a 20.
Go for it.
13.
13 more points of damage. He is past bloodied now at this point. All right. So you strike against him. That is then going to be Gwynwyn. Go ahead and make me that Constitution saving throw.
13.
13 is going to be a fail.
Is it poison?
It is poison.
I rolled with
Oh.
advantage.
You're going to take 2 points of poison damage, half to 1.
I'm used to asking that question every time I roll a con.
Forgotten about my object interaction.
Then it is going to. So, Gwynwyn, what do you want to do for your turn?
I want to move to the corner, far away from the gross thing.
You go,
And
nah.
Nah. And I'm gonna hit it with a firebolt.
Throw your bolt.
22.
Hit. It's a big sack of flesh. And that's the most accurate
22.
expression. 22 fire damage. All of that seems quite effective so far. It does not appear that this creature is affected by the poisonous ichor it's swimming in.
Oh, well.
Weird.
Surprise.
you know, live in filth.
Undead poison.
Anything else, Gwynwyn?
That's it.
We're going to go to Laurentius. It's going to be your turn. Silas, you're next.
So-
Players.
Am I able? Can I touch this thing?
Touch it?
You could touch
I
it.
don't want to, but I'm gonna cast Shocking Grasp.
As you try to reach forward, what looks to be a crease in its fat folds opens up and reveals a set of 6 massive angular teeth.
Why?
Tries to bite at your hand because it's a gross creature. I painted mucus on it.
That's
Why?
That's what you painted?
It's a 13 hit.
13 is exactly its armor class.
Shit.
I don't want to touch it.
Oh. I got as far away from possible as I
Takes
could.
8 points of lightning damage.
This is with your hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you will take.
I guess actually it's like the pommel of my.
But so it's not a weapon attack though. Is what I need to know mechanically. Are you making?
No, yeah, it's a touch attack.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
As you reach out and touch it, you take 4 points of acid damage.
Oh.
And how much lightning was that?
8.
8. All of that seems effective. But as you touch it, you feel, as you shock it, some of this blackened blood sprays out, and you take acid damage from it.
I'm gonna move away now because no reactions.
I cannot take reactions, and I'm very upset about it. We're then going to move on to the undead's turn. Oh,
I'm not done.
oh,
Uh-huh.
Connor, what do you have for me?
Oh, actually, before I move, can I
Yes.
shove the undead into the pool?
Yes. As the second one of the undead falls in.
Yay!
I'm done.
All right.
You killed all of the undead.
Thank you.
With pushing them.
So I have set the DC quite high for them to do this because they are shambling undead, and this is swimming is a very dexterous, difficult, flexibility required thing.
That rigor mortis is real rough.
Do they have air bubbles coming out?
They do not have air bubbles.
That would have been weird.
Well, they can make sound, which is weird. It's all very weird. There's magic. That is going to be Silas's turn. Silas, it's you and then the amalgamation. What would you like to do?
Nothing. I'm incapacitated.
You are incapacitated. At the end of your turn, the stunned condition fades, and you feel this pulsing from right, like, near your kidney, where you were struck so firmly that it took you out of the fight. You could have died.
I'm just gonna stay on the floor for a second.
It's the amalgamation's turn.
No.
Gonna slurp up as it climbs up. I'm gonna go ahead and try to bite Ililie.
Don's gonna bite.
12. I'm gonna make one tentacle attack against you as well. Nobody likes that sentence. It's gonna be a 24 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
That's a worse.
Couple things gonna happen.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna react.
Good.
Do you want me to roll this?
I do.
12. Reduce it by 12.
It's 15 points of damage. Reduced by 12.
3.
No.
3 points of damage. Are you medium-sized or smaller?
I am a medium-sized
No.
creature.
You are grappled and restrained. I'm gonna go ahead and just
I don't want to know what
use the rest of my movement and go right
No! No! No!
Can elf
As it
swim?
splashes back into the water on the other side, taking you with it. The tentacle descends under the water, and you are submerged in the ichor.
Can I at least throw up before?
Oh,
Yeah.
gross.
I'm having a bad time. Like, this is the worst.
This is the worst. We've been in sewers, and those were relatively clean, comparatively speaking.
Adventuring is just about getting apparently disgusting.
You wanted this.
You planned this.
You willingly came along.
You know, I still.
Oh my god.
You know what?
Make a con.
I think we're fine for
sepsis.
now. I think we're fine for where we are. I think we'll stop there. We'll save that other thing. We don't need to use it right now. So at the top of the round is Meanie Callister.
Can I still see the abomination?
You can see the abomination. You can't see Ililie.
Uh-huh.
I'll go ahead and put you prone for just a nice little marker.
Can the abomination please make a wisdom saving throw?
Not that wise, this abomination. That's a 13.
That is a fail. You'll take 2d12 necrotic damage. 9 necrotic damage.
9 necrotic damage. Again, all that damage seemingly is working.
Dawn is going to move up to the abomination and swing.
It has a bunch of mouths. They keep making weird sounds.
Disadvantage swing to hit it harder because this is freaking everybody out.
Wow.
Does it sound like a language? Does it sound like
No.
intelligent?
12.
AC 13. I'm so sorry.
The higher number was a 6. It would have been a 13.
Okay.
I rolled real bad.
Adon swings down, not able to get it. Unfortunately, it's Meanie that cantrip, not doing a lot to it. That's gonna then be.
Oh, I gotta give it.
Is Meanie, are you next to the? You're not. I'm so sorry.
No.
You do not need to make me a saving throw. I apologize. I made a
Oh.
mistake there.
Adon
go ahead
does,
and
though.
Yes.
And then I gain 3.
Yeah. Regain like 3 or 4 health, whatever it is.
Well, because 3 plus the 4 from before is 7.
Okay. Great.
Dawn rolled a 10.
Okay. Dawn takes 1 point of damage. This is so on this save here. I will let you know. Dawn is Meanie. You are done. This is the last run. You have to take these saves. You are adjusting to this room.
Okay, cool.
Horrible as that sounds.
Great.
It's the monk's turn.
Is there a proximity thing? Did I need to make it too?
We're fine. We're gonna keep going on the battle. That is gonna be her turn. She's gonna attempt a strength check. For my convenience, Connor, you want to roll me just a d20 real quick?
8.
Not enough. She tries to shove open. There's a slight shift, but not enough to get this thing actually open. That will then be Ililie's turn. Elle, you are blinded and restrained.
Oh no, you're gonna get pink.
I need you to do me a favor and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Have you ever wished pink eye on somebody?
No.
I can make a con save. That is going to be a 19.
You're gonna take 2 points of poison, halved to 1.
Okay.
You're doing okay for something.
So I'm.
Reminder:
Shit.
if you use a spell with verbal components,
Yeah.
you will be not starting the minutes. You'll be starting the rounds part of drowning.
Okay.
If you
So
speak,
I am restrained.
you are restrained. I have all the conditions here. If you're curious how they
Yes.
work.
Can you repeat them to me?
You're restrained and grappled. The grapple is consumed by the restrained. Your speed is 0. You can't benefit from any bonuses to your speed. Your attack rolls have disadvantage, and creatures' attack rolls against you have advantage. And you have disadvantage on dex saves.
It's all attack rolls.
Yes. Now, you also have the ability to make as an action an escape attempt.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make the escape attempt
Okay, make me an athletics or acrobatics check.
with disadvantage.
So it is not one of the options here. So no, you make this normally.
Okay. Just because it's a dex.
Mhm.
I'm gonna use the borrowed die for this one. Ooh. Acrobatics. That's going to be a 23.
That beats the DC by 10. You were able to spring up, able to still move. You're not actually mechanically prone, so if you'd like to move, you absolutely can, but that was your action.
Yeah. Cool. And then as a bonus action, I would like to be able to leave quickly, so I'm gonna cast Expeditious Retreat on myself. And
After you emerge,
Yeah, as soon as I get above the water.
okay?
So I should have
Hella movement.
hella movement. I'm going to get out,
Mm-hmm.
definitely avoiding my own thing, and I'm going to go all the
Are
way.
you getting on the sarcophagus? Oh no, you're going behind her. Cool.
I'm going all the way over yonder.
Perfect. Squeezing up against the side
I
of,
can get like
this
kind
wall.
of like here.
And I do apologize. We don't have a curved piece that can fit in that space. You're up against a curved stone
Yeah.
wall.
I get here and be like, "Hey, sorry, I still have some salt, like some of that nasty water."
You have survived the death pit.
Which one's your sister? The creature in the pit, or?
She looks genuinely
Oh,
horrified.
I was being kidnapped while we met you last time. So
You don't feel bad. That's fine. Gwynwyn, that's going to be your turn.
I had to make a con save.
You are not adjacent. No, you're fine.
Then I'm just gonna hit a firebolt at this horrible thing that just tried to drown Elle.
Okay.
An 11.
11 is going to be a miss.
Yeah.
Continuing on to Laurentius.
different dice.
Laurentius, what would you like to do for me?
I don't like this like shit demon thing, so I'm
It's
gonna.
really terrible. Make
Me
your con
neither.
save for me whenever you have a second.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. 3 or 1 if you pass.
18.
Pass for 1 point of damage.
Fair.
I will.
It's not a lot.
I'm gonna quicken spell Scorching Ray and then cast Eldritch Blast.
Oh no. Make your 6 attack rolls. You go ahead and start totaling it up for me. I'm gonna keep going. Is that okay,
Sure.
Connor?
Go ahead.
Perfect. To keep the battle going on, as you're making your 6 attack rolls, the undead
That's 6.
you watch some of the
It's a
undead
miss. It's a hit.
begin moving over as they're blinded, and you see an axe
Oh no.
swing through the water as they attack where Liliae last was in the water.
I appreciate their effort.
They are, yeah, they're fully just trying to kill you, but you're not there anymore.
Please.
So
don't
ridiculous.
Map these numbers.
I'm going to take a picture of that actually.
What happened?
I rolled a 1, 2 2s, and a 4, and then I rolled a
2.
9 and a 6.
Oh, that's a 9.
What does the 6 result in?
The 9 and the 6 are going to be over a 13.
But you rolled 60-20.
And all were under 10?
Yeah.
Take a picture. That's
That's what I'm
horrifying.
gonna do,
Okay.
yeah.
Put it on the Discord.
You'll roll your damage in a little bit. That's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Should've-
Silas, that's your turn.
Lord have mercy. Well, I'm
The
gonna-
slurping monster bursts through the water. A ray of this Icarus wave rises up, and as it happens, it obscures Laurentius' vision, several of his attacks not striking. As he lobs, I'm so sorry. Did I say it should have been 5? I
Yeah,
messed
you're
up.
right. No,
but
it's
it's
okay.
fine. You still
Yeah.
get 2 hits.
So I'll just say these are the Eldritch Blasts then.
Okay.
Is that okay? Because I
Yeah,
didn't specify.
absolutely fine. I'm not overly concerned about it. We'll do it right in the future. Ooh, I saw a 10 there.
Yeah.
It makes up for it.
19, 29, right?
29 points of damage.
20
And
yeah, just a-
Silas, what are you doing on your turn? Al comes over here taunting this
I
woman who
have
tried to
the-
kidnap her.
the
I'm
agonizing blast.
a little ashamed of what Elle said. I've been sassy, yes, but that was a lot. I'm kidding. I'm gonna move and to get advantage with her though, and I'm gonna swing twice.
As you're standing there, the gap in the sarcophagus there, I do have to ask a minor. No, you're fine. Make your attack roll.
The first one is going to be 17.
17 is a hit.
Second one is going to be a 22.
Those both hit. Very nice. My Coco.
That's cocked. I wish it was not cocked. Only 12 damage.
Okay. She is bloodied.
Fair enough. While I'm here, there's a crack in the sarcophagus. My hammer makes light. Can I just see maybe into the sarcophagus?
I can describe it, and I feel really bad because I started describing something before you turned in, and I apologize. As you kind of gaze in, there appears to be a black-robed figure within humanoid shaped, only the face is not human-like at all. You see dark, leathery gray skin, eyes that are hidden by deep layers of wrinkles squeezed together, and an elongated mouth that descends past its sternum, like a massive, it's a horrifying gaping maw, and it gazes up at you.
She's trying to get this out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to spend another superiority die and try to grapple her after hitting her.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want her to open that, so...
13 to beat.
That is a 34.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. You fully grapple her, and I'm gonna say it's not really feasible for her to be pushing this over as you kind of are lifting her up. So there's no way for her to get that.
Can I use half of my movement to kind of get her away from the sarcophagus too?
How much movement have you used already?
5.
Are you relocating? Where are you gonna be?
Closer to Adon.
Okay.
Drop her in the water. I'm not gonna drop her in the water. No. She might not be able to swim.
Drop her in the water.
I'm not gonna fix the L for me.
Did you say L or elf?
Yes.
Connor, do you want to track
She's a
that the
quarter
34 is our highest roll so far?
Yeah.
Okay, that was with this.
There was a lot of
Yeah, but
additions.
it's still...
Okay.
Would have been anyways.
That is going to then be the amalgamation's turn. Ooh, I see a Silas. We're gonna move, staying in Adon's range. I'm gonna bite Silas, and then use one tentacle attack on each of you.
Okay.
Biting Silas. Oh, 10. I can't hit with this bite. And then tentacles orange is Silas. Oh, natural 20.
That might hit. No, it definitely hits.
I'm gonna grab you. Whoop. You are picked up with the monk in tow. The other one is going to be a 19 against Adon.
No hit.
As these tentacles begin wrapping around you, oh, what an expression. This horrible creature, let's go ahead and strike you. You're gonna take 12 points of damage. Adon is gonna take 16 points of damage, piercing.
So,
as it wraps around you, spines and some of its bones rupturing through its flesh impale into the side of you. It's a horrible undead creature lifting you up into the air.
Dawn's very injured.
yeah.
You're also grappled and restrained.
Yeah. This is just, I've never seen someone who's grappling grapple. I'm still holding her.
It's much bigger than you. You're holding this creature that's about half your size. You're a quarter of the size, quarter to a half of the size of this creature.
Okay, cool.
Imagine if Godzilla held you while holding a Yeti. Tiefling is the Yeti.
Okay.
The scale might be a little wrong there, but don't do the math.
It's like a really big Yeti.
Okay, that is going to go to the top of the round. Is Meanie.
Okay, great. So Adon's hurt. Silas is grappled.
You've had better days.
Cool. Squawk is gonna go give Adon advantage on hitting this monster thing.
Nice.
And I'm going to keep hitting the monster thing. We're gonna do another Toll the Dead. If you could please make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That is a fail.
Okay, great.
Are you out of spell slots out of curiosity?
No.
Okay.
I've been doing more damage with my cantrips because it's 2d12.
Okay.
12 points of damage. Necrotic.
It is so difficult to tell how this creature is doing.
Right.
It doesn't have any identifiable features.
Adon's now going to swing with disadvantage, but because of Squawk with help action, a flat roll.
He's also restrained. So the disadvantage from the restrained condition, which you're talking about.
Adon's also grappled?
They're both grappled and restrained. She's holding 3
Oh, so
humans.
double disadvantage.
Yes.
So still
Double.
disadvantage.
Still disadvantage.
But this is for heavy swing.
Yes, I understand.
That is a 13 to hit.
That's exactly the armor class.
Great.
Adon strikes a mighty blow. Bringing down picking up Silas and Adon into the air. Adon strikes down with his arm.
19 points of damage.
19 points of damage against this thing. It's
To its
really hurt.
Head?
To its
Upper
torso.
area?
Something.
Its upper body.
Yeah, I'm running low on
has a lower
low
body?
level slots is what's happening, and a lot of what I have is it'll
Okay.
if I use the spells that I have, they'll burst out and hit everybody else around me.
That is going to then be the monk's turn. The monk held up in the air, now about 15 feet above the ground, her horns scraping atop the ceiling.
I recommend not moving, or this could end badly for all of us. What would your sister do?
This one's sister would yield.
It's a respectful decision. If you leave now, we'll never ask about it again.
She's quiet. As she opens her mouth and continues speaking, the amalgamation lifts up and continues flailing you around the room. It does not appear she has direct control of this creature.
Is dropping a grapple a free action?
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop her the next time I'm closest to the edge so she doesn't fall in the water.
Sure. Okay. We're then going to go to Lilier's turn. Elle.
You had to be nice about it.
You had to be nice about it.
She, you drop her to the ground. She kind of looks over, falls to her hands and knees, and is kind of watching as this whole battle is happening around her.
Run!
You charge up to this horrible monster, Elle.
Yeah.
Your skin covered in blue-green ichor.
This is a gross day for me. I'm actually going to as well. I think I'm just going to swing my sword. Does this count as undead?
This is an undead amalgamation.
Okay, but I don't
There are
get
at least 4
advantage.
types of creatures inside of it.
I'm just going to roll flat. That is weird and bad.
It's multiple things.
Don't like
Things
it.
that you didn't expect to hear in D&D.
It's a natural 20!
Amalgamation. Yeah.
I'm not doubling all the dice. Should I just let me roll my other deck?
I'd appreciate it.
I liked it better when I was...
That's still gonna hit. It's gonna be 15.
15. So that's... And are you weapon bursted right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Plus, do I double?
You never double the
double
modifier.
the-
So just plus 10. You think I would know after many years, but
You used to be a wizard, not a
16,
poker.
20, 31.
Elle, covered the beautiful jacket of Summer and all of her gear coated in disgusting material. 21,
41.
41. Wow. Charges up. 41. I have to actually calculate this real quick. Charges up, brings her blade, slashing down, trying to hack away at this tentacle holding Silas, trying to give the party a bit of respite, maybe even kill this creature. I need a calculator real quick. I'm so sorry.
Is this
That's 31 plus 3. Again, I forgot.
Oh, sorry,
modifier.
that's smudging.
Yeah.
That is going to be enough. Elle, you strike down with this critical hit, bringing this monster down low. You stab into it. However,
It is
as you bring your weapon, as you bring your weapon down, you take a total of 10 points of acid damage, and you watch as you're striking down. Oh my god! Oh, you're using Martyr's Lament? You're absolutely fine. As you're striking down, you watch as the acid is splashing back down onto you. You watch as part of the parrying bracer you do, the van brace you wear on your arm for deflection, begins corroding away. Martyr's Lament, an enchanted weapon, does not seem affected by this acid, but your armor begins to degrade.
Is my bracer?
Mhm. It's your elven parrying vambrace.
No, my other brazier that I wear right next to it.
You gotta just use more
Oh,
words.
it has my one Arendrol thing crest that I have on me.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what you mean. And
No.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like Elle has a thing here and a thing here. The thing here is
Like a
taking
bracelet?
damage.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know what you mean. I don't know.
Yeah, it's right above it, so if
Oh,
it
okay.
does damage.
No,
it would be
so
damage.
splattering blood is splattering Icarus blood is touching all over this metal and beginning to form small holes in it, burning through the steel. Mechanically the armor's still fine, but it's real rough that's happening here. As the creature sinks below, tink, tink, the axes begin swinging again, thinking they've encountered something. And this monk looks around, horrified at what's happened, confused, maybe a bit of shame on her face.
Before you go, is there still a way to save your sister?
This one's sister is within the 9 Arch.
Oh, yeah. Kidnapped.
You left her unconscious
Yeah.
and then brought the guards. Gwynwyn bringing the guards, super convenient.
Yeah. So she's just in the big prison. Kidnapping people is kind of like frowned upon.
I shall find a way.
We can't make any promises, but that doesn't mean we can't try.
I don't know.
I have a bad habit of giving people money, and
Maybe,
I'm just gonna give her some money and tell her to run away.
Yeah,
Hopefully
maybe
start a good life for
A
herself.
new line of work.
She looks at this pouch of coin, looks back up to you.
10 gold.
I will. Sorry. This one shall find her sister. You should not open the sarcophagus. You should leave before Zerathal finds you. If you take too long, he will become impatient and leave his room.
Is it worse when he leaves his room?
This area is his domain. He awaits you at the top of the tower. This one was told that my death here would earn my sister's freedom.
I think he might have lied to you.
Does this one not have a name?
This one is named Danitris. The common is a bit strange. There's some syllables are elongated in ways that are. It's a little hard to do, of course, here in English. But as they, the way they speak is a little bit different. A little bit. There's an unfamiliar accent to it. And she looks to you, and the rest of you, hanging your head a bit low, keeping on her platforms a bit, seemingly wary that she might be struck as she tries to walk across this wooden platform.
I step out of the way of the door.
Step out of the way. She begins heading out as anyone's stopping her from leaving.
No.
She turns from the side, and you suddenly hear pat, 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 as she sprints off. Heading off in the direction actually towards where you originally came from to descend the tower.
Oh shit! I'm gonna send Squawk flying, dashing to take a note to the
Vigilante.
village vigilantes to not kill her.
You send off Squawk as this monk descends. This room becoming more putrid as the tanks begin filling with a black Icarus blood. You realize you gotta get the hell out of here.
Is this a dead end room?
This is a dead end room.
Scanning.
You have one door left, which you know has a zombie behind it. You're on this floor.
Great. Scanning the room, making sure there's nothing that we're leaving behind that is like.
As you begin looking around, trying to see if there's any last bits of loot here, things kind of looking over. On the far side of the room, there were a couple of barrels that were marked, but you didn't really inspect those. Depends on how long you want to stay in here.
No.
But as you...
Yeah. We're.
Okay. You step out, closing the door behind you, realizing now that the air was becoming somewhat caustic inside of that room. Kind of sealing that behind you, stepping out.
Another acid globe.
Okay. Is this a flavor globe?
No, this is an actual globe.
This is an actual globe. He props this above you. He props one of these acid globes above the door, as you all begin heading back towards the brain room, if you will. I think we're gonna end our session here for the night, as you prepare to ascend to Zerathal's zenith. You all next time, hopefully, we'll be seeing going face to face with our darling necromancer, everyone's favorite Goliath of the campaign, and is Meanie's hero? I think hero would be a fair way to say
Hero's
it.
absolutely the most
The rat-
accurate word.
You all haven't looked very much in the rat room. Have any theories about what that rat room is?
Brain into a jar.
Yeah,
So
he's
they go from living to unliving?
testing things.
Yeah, there were those gray zombie things were carrying living rats, and they were studying undead rats.
Crackpot theory. He wants to turn the city of Elt into all undead. This was a small scale test.
How's everyone doing health-wise?
Adon's almost out. My ward is what got hit most.
13 points left.
On footnotes, we're going to talk a little
Yeah,
bit about
25.
several stat blocks, including Issa Galehelm, who is the reward for last month. We're going to be announcing the next homebrew stat block for one of our followers here on Twitch, our subscribers here on Twitch, or patrons over on Patreon. We're also going to be talking a little bit about that amalgamation and a bit of homebrew from a recently released game, Elden Ring, which should be quite fun. And I've had some requests from a couple of players to run it in a fight club, so we'll talk about it.
What?
We'll see what happens.
What?
This week's footnotes, I believe, is going to be Clella,
Tis I.
and I'm excited to have you for specifically talking about these horrifying stat blocks.
I want to fight them.
There's some mean things. I will say this: none of you succumbed to flesh rot because I could not bite you. I did not roll above a 6 on the bite
Okay,
attack.
but if I would have used Adon's bite attack, would he have succumbed to
You
flesh
added
rot?
it?
I did. Can I have a bicycle?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Don't give him money.
No, that
Wait,
was
come on.
great.
Flesh
Put it in your
rot?
little shimmer
Is that
box.
not a better way to say flot? Flesh?
It is not a better way to say flawed. But you know what? All these discussions about
way of saying
Adon's stat block, all of these stat blocks, we'll save that for this week's footnotes over on this Sunday. Thank you so much for coming to Stories D4. We appreciate you joining for our stories and our little bit of rambling here at the end. You have a wonderful night, and we'll see you Sunday at 7. Good night.